It's Freaky Friday, I wanna live my lifestyle. Check me out, I'm laying up these bitches lights out. I'm direct with what I say.
What's up? We're live. It's the podcast. We're back. I'm Dallas.
It's Cheerio.
Naughty in this beat.
We had a crazy episode last week. It got wild afterwards outside. Pat Bev pulled up.
Fucking, that was random as shit.
Yeah, backstage shot a whole video.
I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea who it was, and I'm like, who is this guy?
Yo, Naughty just was like, I want some clout, and just went up there too. Yo, that shit was funny as fuck.
I put my arm around him. I didn't know who he was.
Yo, people didn't even believe me.
He walked up to one dude that was smoking out there and was like, hey bro, can I get a hit off that? And the dude was like, nah, man. And he's like, and then like he didn't realize who he was,
who
though,
he was,
you know?
to Pat?
No, bro, it was
my
wild.
God.
Yo, but shout out to Muwda. Yo, we out here, Fenway Park.
He's so
First
aggy.
Dominican dispensary. Not really, but it is low key. You know what I mean? We out
It's
here,
Cape Verdean.
center of Boston. It's not Cape Verdean. Look at the accent over the I. You know, learn the language a little bit. Yo, so you know,
I refuse.
yo, shout out to Naughty. You know what I'm saying?
Naughty. You gotta say it with some more bass,
Naughty.
baby.
Bowden Street. You know what I'm saying?
Bowden Street.
Naughty almost didn't make it in tonight, and Aaron didn't make it in.
Yo, she got,
she's just... You gotta be 21 to come here.
They asked me for my visa, and I just couldn't get in.
Yo, yeah, I know. I called ICE and shit. They wasn't with it. You know what I mean? But Aaron, we sent to the R&V because that motherfucker's shit expired.
Yeah, but no new music tonight. We're gonna follow up on that later with our special guest who's here with us tonight. We're very excited.
Yeah.
Oompa in the house.
Oompa.
Let's go get some.
Got the easiest name to say in hip hop. Oompa. If you can't say Oompa or remember that shit, you're wildin'. Oompa, come on, top.
Where's that name? Where's that name come from?
I've just been short and thick my whole life.
Yeah. Oompa. So it's really like
Yo,
Oompa
dog.
type shit.
Yeah. And I just was like, you know what? I know how the world see me. I'm still fly. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
No,
That shit is hilarious, bro. I did not know that's where that came from.
short and thick, that's it. And I used to play ball.
You ever do the orange hair? That'd be hilarious.
None of that.
You should.
You wouldn't do no color to your
The
hair?
history of the Oompas is crazy, but nah, I wouldn't do none of that.
I feel like, dreads be looking lit with it. I'm not saying no bright
Oh, actually,
orange.
I don't know what I'm saying. No, I did. My hair was orange at some point, actually.
Okay, so
Wow, I'm bugging. Yeah, it was orange.
So when is the music video coming out with the overalls and the orange
Never.
hair? Why?
Never.
You gotta lean into
It was
it.
my first video ever, but it wasn't Oompa like vibes.
You gotta lean into that. You gotta lean right into that.
But like, what's the point?
you should sell overalls.
If you do a video,
and just put Oompa on the butt.
That's crazy.
if you,
Because I'm short and thick. And then the front can say short and thick on this one right here.
You about that?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
Like you was 6 to the people.
I don't care. We gonna rock them fly as fuck.
Huh? Her mic? Do you have to unmute the?
1 second. Technical.
That was funny. I hope so. On mine. I'll switch. You could do.
I mean, if we gotta switch, we gotta switch. Cause I can move down.
Yeah. Or we could slide.
All right,
down
wait,
this way.
hold on.
That's crazy.
Table. Check.
Apologize, people.
You,
Oh, are we live? Live?
We live,
what is 3 hours later? Like SpongeBob?
We live.
Better.
Wait, where's the live at?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, we're on this Instagram live too. That's just the hotline.
Yeah, we
Wow.
get on High Street YouTube channel. You know what I'm
Heard
saying?
you.
'Cause
Damn.
High Street's where it originated at. We on High Street at New Dia. You know
Let
what I'm
me see.
saying? So Oompa, so what we were talking about? Oh yeah, so how would you use it in a music video? I don't know. You the fucking rapper. You come up with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory theme and just go with it. Fuck
You
it.
said I should just do that?
Yeah, why not?
still
I
on.
mean, you
You know-
got all the models. You got all the model friends and shit like
Yeah.
that. We was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Like just say, yo, put on these fucking overalls, girl. Put on this orange wig. Let's
You
go.
I
can
don't
make it
know.
look good.
You know, I could, but
be fly as fuck.
All right, can I get dark or no about it? Or not?
Yeah.
Of
You know what
course.
that the Oompa Loompas apparently was slaves?
Jesus Christ, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
that was a little problematic.
They were getting paid in
Yeah.
there?
Say it again?
So
They
they were
weren't getting
slave
paid.
midgets?
They
were
weren't
saying-
getting
They weren't
paid
getting
in
paid?
there.
No, they were based on like the story of them is that they were enslaved people.
Oh,
but they
right.
like the orange face was like a black face thing.
That's
Oh my
wild as-
God.
Yeah, so I'm like the Harriet Tubman of Oompa Loompas.
Okay.
Okay, then you need to take it back. Yo, so Oompa, you got to take it back and just do it and then say and fuck them, fuck Charlie.
That's
fuck his
right.
factory.
And everybody's in white
No,
paint
honestly,
overalls.
I did not
Do
know
it
it was.
opposite, yeah. I won't be in the overalls.
Yo,
then.
he-
Never
Bro.
mind.
Yo, okay.
The fact Oompa Loompas were midget slaves is wild.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That
They called them
had-
like pygmies.
all they needed to be was handicapped and trans to be the most oppressed group of all time. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Sorry, but
You
like,
got
yo,
crazy.
no, but that's facts. That's wild as shit. I did not. How did you learn that, by the way?
Everybody keeps telling me. They're like, yo, did you know that the Oompa Loompas? And I'm like, damn, just ruin it for me again. Like, first I was like short and thick, and they was like, hey, Oompa. And then now it's like, yeah, they were also slaves. And I'm like, how did me, the most loud black ass person, like, end up being Oompa Loompa?
But that's everything. That's even like our freaking little ring around the rosy shit like that.
Yo,
I used to be like,
crazy. You find out that's racist, bro? That shit is insane. Yo, I found out about Jimmy's. I didn't know Jimmy was what you called a random black dude back in slave times. So when you put Jimmy's and they're the brown sprinkles, that's why they call them Jimmy's. Yo, I got told, bro.
Damn, are you gonna? Is my childhood my childhood is gonna be completely ruined by the end of this episode? Like that's what's gonna happen.
So let me tell you how I learned that. I was having dinner with the homie, and his mom was there, and his wife and shit. And then I said, "Yo, you didn't get no Jimmy's because they got the ice cream for dessert and shit." And they was like, "Yo, you know that Jimmy's comes from this?" And I said, "What?" And I said, "Y'all are bullshit. Y'all fucking lying to me. Don't be a damn Jimmy." And then
meeting.
Yo,
what a meeting.
The first
you have like annual what?
Is that you can't talk about white kids.
Okay, my bad.
Is it really? Cause like what?
No, you can't talk about white.
I can't answer that.
We'll ask another white guy. We got a couple of them in here.
I have said Jimmy's all my life, so I'll say that.
All right, but yeah, same.
I respect it.
But did you say Jimmy's too? Because I did. I fucked with you.
Yeah, I just said sprinkles, but
I didn't like them.
Our camera guy's name is Jimmy. Jimmy, you fucking.
Yo, what up, Jimmy?
Yo, you just belong on ice cream, dog. Yo, but what I'm saying is, when I learned that, bro, it changed my childhood too, because that's what I called it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what kind of subtle racist bullshit is this?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, because I always felt a little effeminate saying sprinkles.
It's kind of
yeah. Let me get a little sprinkle.
I'm just gonna like point at him now.
Put a little sprinkle on the screen.
The chocolate ones.
Yeah, the chocolate ones is it.
Yo, let me get
right
them.
there.
Let me get them little Oompa Loompas.
Yo, not the Oompa Loompas. That's crazy. Wow, full circle. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Wow, that was good. That was good. That was good.
He on it. Like, ready.
I was like,
gotta try it. You gotta do
That's
it.
that improv.
Yeah. So yo, I was talking to Oompa before the show, but yo, she didn't even know. She's like, I recognize you, and I was like, yo, that's because I've seen you perform from like the start. I was like, the first time I seen her perform was at Wonder Bar.
Yo, what an ashy time.
R.I.P. to Wonder Bar, by the way.
R.I.P.
And shout out to the Stu Beach Showcase.
Yeah, Mark Maron, all of them.
Shout out to Mark Maron. Shout out to D Loops.
French. Brian Trench.
Yeah. Dallas too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shoot! So we definitely crossed paths then at that time.
Yeah, because and you performed, and I was like, yo, who's this? And then
that was an ashy time.
Outfit and shit. I was just like,
the blue vest, the white hat.
Yeah, exactly.
The ugly jeans. Yeah, it was a time.
I didn't say shit about the jeans.
Oh, Trippy Red. I look fly, Trippy Red.
Yeah, you killed it.
Thank you. That was hard. That was a hard show.
But it was still like giving the whole time. Like you're a great performer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like it. It's my favorite part of this.
I seen you perform, and one of the first times seeing Dutch Rebel perform too was at a producer showcase.
Oh, fire. Okay. Yeah. I met Dutch 2017, something like that.
Yeah.
That's my dog. Shout out to Dutch.
But ever since then though, I was like, your name buzzed. You like, if people don't know, like the grind is real. Like if you see Oompa from like that first, I had no idea who you were.
Yeah.
To be straight up with you, I mean,
that's okay.
What's your favorite memory?
Of what?
Like just in general from your journey so far. Like what's one thing that like sticks with you? Like whether it was like you was performing.
Like doing this podcast.
Yeah, doing this podcast is number one. Oh, before this one? Before this? Like, yo, so like my top 3 is probably my first sold out show at the Great Scott. Rest in peace to the Great Scott. It's 250 people. And I just took, my thing is I take gambles. I just took a gamble my whole life. I say, if I fail, like, it's only because I tried hard and I didn't reach it yet. But some people are afraid to do it because they're like, oh, if you don't sell out or if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you failed. And for me, I'm like, I'm going to shoot for a 250, even though only 75 to 100 people only ever came to a show of mine. Did that, sold that out. Line was around the corner. Some people couldn't get in. And I just kept hearing people like, yo, I tried to get in. So that was my first one, 2018.
That's probably when you had the feeling like something really is happening here.
Something's happening, And I was like, I don't really understand it. I just know I love this. And I keep fighting to get back to that feeling of I love this. Like
Why,
instead
you not
of
feeling that anymore?
I feel like I'm trying to, I feel like I put everything into this. So sometimes I think that I get caught up in my return on investment that I don't.
It's not fun anymore.
Sometimes it's not fun, and sometimes I'm not connected to the important things. But I try to keep myself around people who just love this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But so you gotta like, I feel like you gotta always ask yourself, like, if I knew it wasn't gonna work out, would I still make music?
And I would.
And I think if the answer is no, you should quit immediately.
Yeah,
It'd
no,
be a shame
answers.
if you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You said what?
If it'd be a shame if you didn't make music.
Nah,
you know what I'm
I absolutely. There's nothing else in this world I would do. Like I'm very calculated. I got a lot of Capricorn in my chart. I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't believe in myself, I'm not doing it for clout. I'm not doing it for attention. I'm not doing it for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Even though those things pay off, like I'm not here for that. So I know that I would do it even if it didn't pay, even if
really
whatever.
fun.
It's fun as hell. Yeah. But the thing is, it just so happened to give me a livelihood. So I'm like, I ain't going back. I like that shit.
That's the trick.
You've performed at Good Music Showcase before too, right?
Yeah, all the
at
time.
Maggie's
Shout out
Lounge?
to DJ LC was my
That was the latest event for a Good Music Showcase. Was when you performed too, no cop.
Thank you. Wait, two things I want to say. The other one was at the Sinclair Clio release, and then actually top 3 probably got the Celtics performance and then Goldfest. Honestly, recently. But back to your point, Good Music Showcase. Yeah, that was the first. I hit up Alcide, and he was one of the first cats outside of Mark Maron that gave me a chance to be in front of an audience that I didn't have. And he gave me like $80 or something like that, or maybe a drink at the bar, and I was just happy as shit to have it.
Maggie's Lounge pizza though.
Yeah, I don't even think I got no pizza. I think I got a drink and kept it moving.
That's actually where I met Dallas too. We had a Stu Beats event there too.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yo, what's good with the beats?"
Yo,
it's crazy what going to these local shows can create. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Was that 4 years ago plus?
No, it was like 6, 7. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I can't even believe I've been doing something that long.
Know about and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? She discovered like 2 of her new siblings she didn't know about.
Yo, I just discovered some people too. My father and them. Yeah. So hey, did you really? Siblings?
No, I thought he was talking
I'm
to
not
you.
doing this with him. No, yeah.
That's why I was saying,
No, but dead ass, and I've said this before, my Cape Verdean homie dead ass just found out I was like 19-year-old sister. Like, and he's like 30.
Okay, that happens, but can we not trigger? Don't come triggering me. Like, let's talk about good things.
Yo, that's
right.
the one thing.
Okay,
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
That's something we
Troublemaker.
That's fucked up. As a Dominican, I was trying to connect with you.
Damn. As an honorary Dominican, I'm looking at you.
Finger and then you do
No,
it
because and then I pointed at myself. I pointed at myself.
No, listen.
I got uncles.
We
who are pieces of
sensitive.
shit. Okay, I got uncles, and maybe my dad has a second family. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
He said I'm Dominican. Like he said what he said.
I said what I said.
Period.
Sorry, mira, estamos en Muwda.
Oh my God.
Like we got to accept the culture.
When he does that, it sounds like he's on a Dominican radio broadcasting and he's promoting some type of product.
Yo, for real.
Claro que sí. Aquí tenemos.
You should do the commercials for.
It's really giving Sábado Gigante.
Yo, by the way, camera on this. Yo, like, try this. I will highly recommend it. The only thing that would make it better if it had plátanos and shit in it for me, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That shit would be fire. But like, other than that, bro, try that syrup.
Phil's dressed in overalls.
Deadass. I'm not even saying it because it's on the table.
This looks like Robitussin.
Yeah,
it don't fucking matter.
I just started it too.
It's not. It's pure THC. It's wild.
Okay.
So,
that's wild.
Come to New D and buy that shit.
No,
yeah.
But what do you put it on?
So, Oompa, how many siblings have you discovered that you didn't know existed?
Siblings that I discovered that I didn't know existed. Well, you know, they just kind of keep popping up.
Are you serious?
I mean, not really, but like kind of. Yeah, I found my father last year, almost a year ago.
Wait, you never knew him before?
Nah,
That's
I found
crazy.
him on 23andMe and Ancestry. Put some links together. Yeah.
Yo, see, it's exciting having a father with a second family. You never know what's gonna pop up in your life.
What? Did he put you up for adoption when you were little, or he just took
No,
off,
he just
or?
didn't even know I existed. My birth mother was on her timing. Like she was on her
Really?
timing.
So he knocked her up, and then she just bounced or whatever.
And she just ended up pregnant.
And he never knew.
No, he didn't know. He didn't know. He was like,
Does he have any other kids?
he had a son who passed away. Strangely enough, I had a sister who passed away. Her birthday was October 14th. He got a son who passed away. His birthday is October 14th.
Those two children are related, right?
No relation. That's on my mother's side.
Right.
Yeah. And so he had that, and then he has another daughter biologically, and then he has other daughters like kind of like from different relationships, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But yeah, now I found out that I had siblings on that side. I got a whole family, Ancestry.com. Like I found out I had a cousin. And then on 23andMe, it said I had a grandmother that wasn't my birth mother's mother. So I started asking the cousin and the aunt, like, yo, do y'all know these people? They're like, yeah. And the only way it worked is if my aunt had a brother, and she only has one brother. And I saw him, he had the forehead and the dimple, and I was like, I'm yours. He looked at me, he was like,
yo, sometimes that should be undeniable, bro.
Nah, facts. He was in an R&B group that had a #1 hit in like the 90s. Yeah.
What song?
Classic Gentleman. I forget the name of the damn song. Classic Gentleman though.
I don't think I heard of them. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, yeah. Classic Example. Classic Example.
That sounds.
It was Perfect Gentleman, and then it was Classic Example. He's Classic Example.
So
yeah.
that music genetic a little bit.
Yeah. No, my birth mother was a rapper too.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that what got you into doing music?
No, I didn't know them. And when I was rapper, I didn't know them niggas. But like,
Sorry, I'm talking about your mom.
no, I didn't know her either. Like, I'm adopted. Now she get crazy.
Okay,
She get crazy on the side. She get crazy. She get crazy. I'm adopted, but long story short, my mother was born in the 1930s when who adopted me, and she was listening to right.
Sorry.
No, dead ass. She was like 60 when she had us, like 67, 60 something, and now she used to listen to like Motown, like all kind of crazy shit like that, like Bob Marley, stuff like that. So I got into music with that, and then my sister was really like she liked the boy bands and the pop songs and the Britney Spears. So she used to have us up on Saturday mornings. Every morning we in there like bye bye bye. Like doing all the shit in the living room on Saturday, so it's kind of like I couldn't escape it. And then we went to a Goodwill one time. Like we didn't have bread. Like my mother made $10,000 a year, so we went to the Goodwill, like trying to get some coats or some shit, and found a keyboard for $9.99. It had a lot of the keys missing, and I asked her for that, and she gave it to me, and I just learned how to play the piano. And then I would like rap on the piano.
But you never played the keys that was missing? That'd be funny.
Nah, I did. You could push it. You can push it on the inside.
Did that ever fuck with you when you got to a normal piano a little bit?
It did. It did. I was like, yo, this is what's the C
that's why
C3
when you have some janky shit. Like, yo,
I love janky shit.
Like my first car, it didn't have power steering, so I'm like, it fucked up. And I was like, I can't afford shit. So I would just try to drive it, and every time I do a turn now, I turn like I ain't got power steering. You know, like, because I'm so used to it. Yeah, no,
like
I
the
turn,
heavy.
so I accelerate when I turn.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be smooth turns. Don't get me wrong.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
But like,
I feel like you go 70 and a 30.
I've gotten that ticket.
Yeah, I know.
lost my license with that ticket.
You kind of look like it.
Yeah, that's
just got a 9.
Is that
That's
racist?
a little offensive.
That's a little
It's a
racist.
little bit, because
okay,
it wasn't in a
that's
Honda.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. You okay?
If it wasn't a
talking
Honda,
shit, so
if it wasn't a Honda,
yeah,
I'd accept that comment. But it wasn't. It wasn't a Mazda.
that's kind of on brand too. It's like Honda, Toyota, Mazda.
They love stopping me, bro. Fuck the cops. Sorry.
Nah, that us.
Sorry,
Why you saying sorry to me?
So when you look so when you look at Dallas' face,
Why you say sorry to Dallas?
Because look at his face. Doesn't he look like a cop a little bit?
Especially if I turn.
Do the hat thing.
That's our running.
You know what I'm saying? Don't he look like a D-Tech?
Hey, where you going?
Out of this podcast.
You got any idea? Out of this podcast.
You got any ID?
Yo,
Nah.
he done questioned some
I don't know who I am.
What's your name?
I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Please ask me anything.
I'm just kidding, because I'm not a cop.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, absolutely. Ask me a question.
But I was gonna ask you about
I didn't know that.
Outlawed. Outlawed.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, I want to know, like, what's your opinion or like your standpoint on having like your own organization? One, which mad props to you, mad flowers
Thank
to you.
you.
I was like looking at it and I loved it.
Thank you.
How is it doing balancing both?
It's hard. It's hard. Like you start a business, like you become a business as an artist. You become your own business, so that's already one thing. And you got to juggle that constantly. Like, and the world we're living in this digital era, like your job doesn't stop. It's like content or promotion or new stream of income or new music like that. Sometimes that gets to be the last thing that you do, like actually being creative and developing, you know what I mean? So that's already hard in its own, but starting a company that like is supposed to work to support artists and like build a new infrastructure in the city and do X, Y, and then generate revenue, but also give more than they get. Like, like that's already hard. So I've been spending a lot more time with that than I have music. Yeah. But I'm also not inspired by music right now, unfortunately. Like, I'm not listening to anything new, like outside of like there's some local like music that I'm fucking with, but outside of that, just not really inspired.
And it's crazy because your music is mad. You could tell that it's like there's a lot of feeling behind it too. Like
Thank you.
Like we were talking about it before the show started.
Yeah.
We call it the podcast before the podcast when I just be talking too fucking damn much and won't shut the fuck up. But like, I was because when I
he said know thyself.
Yeah, when I listen to you, I'm just like it's like soulful. The beat selection's crazy.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about LeBron. It was the most soulful song, but it goes hard as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The verse.
I needed a
So
little.
maybe it's like you don't have to be that person that's just turning shit out. You could be that person when you feeling it. And you
that's
really
what it is. Yeah, I put out an album every couple years. Like it was like 2016, 19, 21. And here we are in 2023. We're gonna see. Yeah, like I might put something out Q4 or something. I don't really know. And I'm just not inspired. And I'm trying to figure out the other thing too is like my music be polarizing. Like some days I'm on my pop shit, my R&B shit. Some days I'm rapping and I just gotta feel like I'm back in my bag because right now I'm not inspired. So
I literally feel that because I feel like I'd be all over the place. Like I have mad different vibes going right now. And I'm just trying to figure out what is the one.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Or the two.
Or the two.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of asked about Outlawed because I'm like in the same position as you. Like, you know, I have Voice of the Baddies. I don't know if you heard of it yet. But it's like
shout out to you.
Thank you. It's a female collaborative. You should come.
Hell yeah.
You've been waiting. We got one September 24th.
Okay, I'm around.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to learn from you at the same time because it's like it's people don't realize the value in like us all working together, like you know what I'm saying, helping each other.
There's
out.
no point in reinventing the wheel. Like that's just ego. It's like, do it work?
Yeah.
All right, great. If it doesn't work, can you add something to it? All right, cool. So for me, it was like just grab the most talented people with movement that you can, that you love, that I work with already, and just say, all right, cool. We got this. We all have similar interests. How can we unify our talents? To do something that's bigger than all of us. And it's like, while we're working on all of us, we can't stop that. Like, how do we also make sure that we're doing something that's bigger than all of us? And it's just like, we just dream it up and we're making it happen. We're making it up as we go.
And speaking of big, like you did a Celtics performance too, right?
Yeah.
What was that like? Like getting that and then the experience of performing in front of all those people?
Yeah, no, that year was actually like finding out stuff back to back was just kind of crazy. It was just like Boston Calling, shit, Pepsi, ESPN, Maura Healey, Celtics. I was like, I didn't even put out no music. Am I doing this right? Like, what's going on? Like, do I just keep making them hate? Like,
you get stressed out like without like not having something drop for a couple of years?
Say it again. What? Yeah, I'm
stressed.
stressed.
Out like shit. I gotta like get something out.
Yeah, because the algorithm makes you feel like you're chasing something. You know what I mean? And you are like you're in between like your morals around making sure you feel inspired and then being in a machine. Like the machine is already stacked up against you. So not only is it stacked up against you already, but then you're fighting with that machine and everybody, you in some way you're fighting with everybody that's fighting against the machine for a spot. So when you're not releasing regularly, you just be like, oh, am I out the conversation all of a sudden? You know what I mean? So
but that's why your organization's fired. Like that's what the point is, like you just said, is people coming together and doing things, because regardless we're feeding off of one another. Like imagine
facts.
If we just like literally, that's how I see it, is like if one person drops in September, but like we're all in that video. Then it's in October, the next person drops, then we're all in that
that's
video.
That's literally
like,
what we're doing too. So
no
everybody's about to drop.
There's no reason for it to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not in the mix or you're not, because everybody's helping
doing
each
their
other.
thing. That's a fact.
So, when you split everything up, like or when you partner with people and like you know, teaming up like that, what's your opinion on like the right way to split up the business? Because I think like that's something we've been like asking every guest lately. You know, because I think that there's a lot of these situations, right, where people are cooking up together and shit like that. There's somebody's producing, somebody's rapping. There's however many artists. There's engineers that maybe aren't like charging. You know, like, and I think everybody's got some different opinions on like
for sure
how that should be handled. So
in terms of like particularly making music, right? Like I feel like it just depends on like the level of involvement and the amount of leverage whoever has. Like, I mean, the ugly part of business is like there's leverage involved. And then the nice part is that like you could start 30, 30, 30, 50, 50, like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever way. But for me, it's like if there's somebody who's like, yo, I want you to get on one of my beats, right? I really, really want you to get on one of my beats. I think that there's leverage for me there to say like, I'm coming to this conversation like with a little bit more at stake. You know what I mean? Like I'm willing to do this, you know, so whatever. But for the most part, I like to approach it 50-50 and work from there. Like me, and if the producer sent me a beat that I think is cold as hell, like, and I'm on it, like I start at 50-50 and then we work our way from there. Like if you do nothing else on the beat and I just make the entire thing, you know, rearrange the beat, like got the engineer involved, like we can talk about like digging into that a little bit more so that the engineer gets some love. But like for the most part, I like to start 50-50 unless there's some crazy leverage kind of situation I'm entering in.
I think that it's pretty clear, like usually artist producer is going to be 50-50. I think where it gets confusing is when there's an engineer too. You know, like
it depends though.
What should be their cut? Who's giving up that cut?
If I pay you, then.
But not always. Especially if the producer is also the engineer. Like it happens to me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, hey, you know, let's get on some beats, and people just kind of assume like, yeah, I'll just record them.
Hey,
hey, I'm working for a couple hours here. For you know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't here, you would have had to pay an engineer.
Yes, it depends on the investment. Like, for example, like I work with D Fraser a lot, and D Fraser will have some beats that he cooks up for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I want you to make a song on these. And I think that we're still in our 50-50 conversation like that.
Yeah.
I want you to get on this. He's also an engineer. I engineer with him almost exclusively.
Yep.
Like, cool. So that's a 50-50 conversation still.
Yeah.
But if there's a situation like you're saying, like you're coming to me, I'm like, yo, I want to get on one of your beats. Like, what's up? Like, or I buy a beat and it's like, I'm going to record you. It's like, all right, cool. Well, let's talk at the beginning about if I'm your engineer or if I'm your producer and engineer, or are we just going to keep it 50-50 and keep it moving?
Right.
Like, I like whatever's fair for me is like it's just fair. Like whatever feels fair. Like fair is not a real word. Like it's not a real thing.
You'll know it when you see
standards too. Like there's standards for writing and publishing splits.
Yes,
like everybody kind of knows how that's supposed to go.
Yeah.
I think with this, what we're talking about right now, there's not clear standards that everybody's starts on the same page.
Because producer conversations and beat maker conversations, like I think hip hop and popular music, electronic music, done changed the conversation around producership. Like what is producing versus
completely changed.
It's changed. So like it's like, is that a 3 to 5% situation? On the other end, is that a like 50% situation? Well, like, what are we talking about?
You know what's crazy? Because I follow like some music cultures in different countries and shit. Like in Colombia, for example, when you use the word producer, it's not like, dude, I just make beats. It's like, you're gonna make me the beat, you're gonna engineer the entire session, you're gonna do all the post-production, you're gonna be my manager basically. So to them, the word producer is like, you know, what like Diddy and them be doing sometimes. Yeah. Like you're the label as the producer.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing in that reggaeton Latin music.
100%.
And if you just say you're a producer and all you do is use the drum pad,
but that's not even fair, right? Because before electronic music, right? You would be in the studio, you got a drummer, you got a saxophonist, so if I'm sampling or if I'm using my MIDI keyboard to make all the sounds that make you feel like I got a whole song, then dog, I made your life easy because I got the whole band right in my keyboard. Like at the end of the day, I'm still a producer.
I make the beats too, and I get that.
Yeah.
And it's more so what I meant about that extra shit is like that person is like the record exec for them, like executive.
That's executive producing, though.
But to them, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I get that. I mean? Like a Quincy Jones is a producer through and through, right? Like I get that, but for me, it's like, all right, he just brought we don't have to bring the saxophonist in no more. We just don't have to bring the triangle in no more. Like we got like 6 triangle sounds. Like it's that easy, and it's like
Splice has a million,
right? And on some level, is it harder or easier? It's hard. It's easier because you don't have to learn how to play those instruments. But at the end of the day, a lot of us can't hear the same shit they're hearing.
Nah, bro. The ear, I think, is what makes the difference now. Because, you know, no matter what comes out, you could be like, oh, I got this here, this program there. And I'm like, yo, but do you got a good ear, though? Because you got to know what to take out when, who's going to work on what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the most important part, too. Like,
how to get out the way.
Yeah. Especially with AI coming, like it's all gonna boil down to people's taste.
Damn, I knew AI was coming. I knew AI was coming.
What do you guys talk about in AI culture?
I mean,
you're my
what I can say, dude.
I'm trying to ask you about what the Cape Verdeans did. I know what the Dominicans
They don't even know what AI is yet. Stop.
Okay. That's a good point.
We're excited about it. We're excited about the automations.
Yo, collectively, Musk was talking about it's gonna be the death of us and shit.
Nah, I mean,
some of us are scared. Yeah, we're divided.
That's just scary.
Divided on it, actually.
Divided, guys.
Yeah.
I think you know what it is too. Is I think that it's like music industry is probably going to destroy itself, which I'm ready for.
Oh my God.
To keep it a stack with you, to keep it a stack with you. If AI is making all the hits, first of all, like the person who owns the Billboard, like labels, streaming platforms, it's all the same company, a lot of it. So there's already a machine out there that has nothing to do with us. So if AI is gonna feed into that machine and give us hits, there's a mass of people who's gonna fuck with that and gonna fall to it. And some of us will too, it's gonna be amazing. But at the same time, it's like, people are gonna miss that in-person shit. People are gonna miss that shit that feels good.
They're getting us ready to be on the ship like Wally.
So, yeah.
I'm ready to be on the spaceship. Take me back.
They're getting us ready for that. We're just gonna be sitting
on the spaceship.
Yep, I think we're
take me out this motherfucker right now.
Freaking fire ass AI models that's on the screen.
My take on that.
Take me. I'm out. Let's go. I'm going back home. Let's go. I'm out.
Yo, my take on it, because you definitely dropped some gems there, but I also think that you got to twist that to your advantage and be like, yo, who AI? Yeah, you can make something like Oompa, but you're not Oompa, right? People like exclusivity and access to that person. So, like, let's say you say, yeah, I got an AI show for you. I got a fucking hologram of me, sure.
No,
but then the real show costs extra. Yeah. You know, you want to use my AI verse, go ahead, but remember who that is first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there is a way to twist it.
You have to take advantage of it before it takes advantage
of you. And the business part of it is lit, but more than anything, the thing that I miss is just feeling. Yeah. Like music that makes you feel some shit. Like it's almost like you can't feel anything and still be legit. Like especially in rap, you gotta make people move. You gotta make people hype. You gotta do like you gotta be devoid of feeling. Thanks. Like and that's no disrespect because I'm bumping everything. Like I'm saying I'm fucking with all the ratchet shit. Like that's my shit. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, nothing made me feel like Aretha. Yeah. Nothing made me feel like James Brown. Yeah. Nothing made me feel like Bob Marley. Like Arrested Development, nothing made me feel like that shit. So it's gonna be a nice space. Like, go ahead, AI, take over that shit. Cause me and I don't care if it's 10,000 people out of the whatever that'll come and see Beyonce. Give me 10,000 people that's gonna fuck with my little whatever I got going on. Yeah. I'm cool.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what it's gonna be about is like building a community because AI is like there'll be a lot of like just generated music and we'll see like what fans really think of that. If they get into it or not when they know there's not a human behind it.
Right.
But what it's definitely gonna do is make it even easier to create music.
Yes.
So like already way too many people are making music, and that's just gonna get crazier.
Yeah.
So it's gonna like the music that's available is gonna continue to get more and more watered down, and the money's gonna get more and more spread out. Because right now it's pretty hard to make money as an artist. Like
off the music.
I think it's like 80% of artists on Spotify or something like that, or maybe even higher.
And the market cap
have less than 50
up.
Listeners.
And the market
a lot of songs
crazy, bro.
have zero, but more
60,000 songs get uploaded a day.
120,000.
120. Oh, sorry, 60,000 on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, it's 120.
On Spotify?
Yeah. Well, on streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But nowadays, everyone uploads to like everything now, right? Yeah. They just go on DistroKid or whatever, TuneCore, whatever, and they just go boom, put it on everything.
So I think like there's going to be so many people making music, and streaming money is not going to be enough to make a living off of. So you have to, I think, start to look at streaming as like your top of funnel marketing. Yeah. Like this is one way that I get people into me.
Exactly.
Draw them in my
Only
world,
one.
and then they sign up for my subscription service or my merch or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think streaming is the way to go, bro. And I'll sound like a broken record. A lot of people don't give a fuck about your music, bro. Like, not about you specifically, right? I'm talking about a lot of people in general don't, right? Yeah, I'm not exempt. You more so than some others, but yes, right?
Yeah.
And generally speaking, that's true. So you need to have people fall in love with you, and then the music's secondary as fuck. Yeah. Like, people got to fall in with your personality, yourself. Like, I tell every artist, bro, sell your merch, do fucking vlogs. Everyone should be following you around, knowing what your life's. I didn't know you was fucking adopted. That's lit as fuck. Not to say, you know what I mean? In like a crazy way.
She was great.
We just learning some wild shit about you that I never heard of. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking about before, we like grouped down the street from each other. Type shit. You know what I mean? So it is kind of wild. And then when people see like, I really fuck with Oompa, and maybe she has a semi-racist name because of the midgets, but it's cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, let's get let's get Chris Faraone out here. Come on, Chris.
Yeah. What is that called? Like when you give like a compliment, but you have to be like an asshole.
Backhanded compliment. But I will say though, that's part of the heartbreak of being a musician. Is like people don't listen to the music. They want to know what your brand is.
Yeah, because I think people look at.
Hey, Chris.
What up, Chris?
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast, Chris.
Hello.
Damn, you didn't offer me a water.
Oh no, he just.
No, that's so crazy. That's okay. I gotta pee, so no. I'll wait.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
No. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
So Chris Faraone, author, or you prefer writer or author?
Reporter. I like reporter because
I like that.
No matter what I'm doing, I'm
reporting.
Chris is like a cultural expert, man. I was talking to him earlier. He knows more about Boston than me and anyone else combined.
He's the perfect guest for the show.
Can you do the accent?
Don't do it.
Not doing it.
Don't do it. We're more than that accent, y'all, out in the world that's not from Boston listening.
Do a fucking accent, kid.
I'll do better than the accent. I will say that after I moved here, as a music nerd, it was remarkable to see like all Guru's lines in particular that I'd never realized. That's how we flipped him like that with a little bit of a Boston accent. He's got some great ones.
A little bit, kid. You feel me?
Dakota the streets. I'll do a Guru accent.
You know what's funny? When I was talking to you earlier, it wasn't super obvious, but there were a little bit, and I was just like, I can tell you from here, type of shit, like a little bit of.
Well, I tell you, I'm from Queens, though. I mean, I pick it up, though. I'm like a chameleon.
He's from New York.
Damn.
Dude, he's from New York.
You from New York?
On dog.
No, you didn't watch she don't know.
Where you from?
I'm from Boston. Well, I'm from Brockton.
Tell the truth.
Dead Dogs is from New York.
She was born on Golden.
Dead Dogs is not from New
It
York.
was a very controversial moment. Wednesday almost walked out. Yeah.
Wait, did you make the mistake? You're saying you made a mistake?
She was mistaken. She was mistaken.
Excellent, because
When she was born
I
on,
already got yelled at.
okay, all right, I
born on
won't do
Hogan
it.
Street, didn't tell her.
You said she was born on Hogan Street.
On Bowden Street, didn't tell her.
I was born
Damn, you making all the Cape Verdean stereotypes. That's all right. What's your last name though?
Fernandez.
Oh shit.
Come on, son. With the S at the end.
Yeah, with an S.
Come on, with the S at the end. Come
No,
on.
that's all right. That's y'all are part of a beautiful gang, man.
Yeah, yo, shout out my
This
kids.
guy.
Chris, tell the people like a little bit who you are, what you do.
We're in Boston here, so I actually worked down the street at the Boston Phoenix. Rest in peace.
Hey.
The Boston Phoenix. I was a staff writer there for the last 5 years. After that was done, and as a hip hop writer, I wrote for The Source for years. I had a column in a magazine called Elemental, which I think is like one of the greatest. I'm so old hip hop magazines of all time. But I had that really put me in the zone because I had a column where I did a profile on a different like great indie record label every month. Cool. From Duck Down to ABB to going out to Minneapolis and hanging out with rhyme sayers. But then I was Spin Magazine's hip hop guy in Boston for a while.
Oh, shit.
And I guess in the context of this show, the thing I take most pride in is if I didn't write the first article about someone or one of the first big profile, I was behind it.
Yes,
or
facts.
we found the resources to get it done because
Did you find him on 23andMe and shit too?
Basically.
Big cousins and shit.
but also
He was my first cover, like on a
that was for Dig Boston. Also, Dig Boston is there. I'm not with them anymore. Hopefully, they can make a comeback. But obviously, the media is different. I'm doing, I have a project called Talking Joints Memo. We cover cannabis all day. And I also still do something called the Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism. And what that does is whether it's arts reporting, like the story we all did, basically, if it's not just a quick piece or some BS or AI generated, it's not happening that much anymore, right? I always like to say back in the day, your artists like Acrobatic or Slain, when they were coming up, by the time they had like their first album out, they had 10 articles written about them. There were a million newspapers, Term, these guys and mostly guys, right, benefited crazily from that. And that's all good. Nothing, no knock on them. But there were like 5 of us, me, Pops to Greg Ball, who I had dinner with the other day. We still get together, the old hip hop writers. Marty Caballero.
Dart Adams.
Dart Adams. Well, Dart Adams the king,
Shout out Dart.
Shout out to Dart.
Stu Beat Showcase.
Dart would be like, that conversation actually happened 10 minutes earlier than you said it did.
Yo, his Twitter account's wild, bro.
He's the one who I cross-checked my father's information with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like, actually, your father, and then he did this, and then he showed me a news article.
Yeah.
It's the 50th
That's
anniversary,
amazing.
25th anniversary. I was like, oh,
if
shit.
you're on Twitter, you need a Dart Adams filter just to make sure you ain't fucking
Just
up.
so you make sure,
When he corrects people, it be so eloquent, bro.
It's so
And
crazy.
then when somebody tries to get at his neck, he's like,
They don't know.
sir.
That's Laura Roxbury for real.
Someone who didn't do their research like Dart Adams.
Okay.
But who did, but honestly, so that kind of stuff used to get done, and that's also on the investigative side, right? I'm not going to talk about it a lot here unless you throw it at me. But, for the nonprofit, we write about the police, big surveillance stories.
So what do you think
prison and
about his
parole, but honestly, so the kind of stuff, so I specialize in the kind of stuff that doesn't get done. And on the cannabis side, listen, we don't do pay to play. We're here, we talk about products, which not a lot of people do for some reason. It's fun. And also, we cover the craziness and the industry and the weed and police. And well, actually, and the truth is they always have been related, right? So right now, for example, we're covering social equity, and not just social equity, but the promised money. I don't know if you all know, for example, it was expected to be 20 to 30, even 40 million in the first year. That goes to a trust fund to support, mostly black-owned businesses, but there's some other, economic empowerment groups in there that are woven in. But you know what? It's going to be like 2 to 4 million. So it's like, the shoes.
You said 30 million?
Yeah, 30 million to 2 to 4. So this is the kind of
You've been
stuff.
black your whole life. You're not
honestly,
surprised.
well, these are the kind of things, and that's for year one. But these are the kind of stories we do in deep, and also on the positive side, profiling places like Muwda frankly, watching Ross do what he did was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, from Worcester to here. So much good stuff happening, but still a lot of nonsense. But
For sure.
it's all combined. From the police to the prison to parole. No, for real.
It has to be. What's your sign?
Reporting stuff. Like, do you have to like?
I knew it. I swear to God.
Your birthday's coming up?
Your birthday.
Yeah, September 13th. Which I will plug one thing. So this example of what we do on the nonprofit side. You all remember 5 years ago on my birthday, September 13th. Had nothing to do with my birthday, but the gas explosions in the Merrimack Valley. If y'all remember, basically
correlation with your birthday.
Well, it just happened to be that day. So we're doing a big thing, and it actually happened to be the biggest settlement with a natural gas resource in the history of the country.
Oh, so
and Massachusetts really just put them in the ground and kicked them out of the state. And we went and made sure, you know, the people who were supposed to get paid got paid.
Wow.
And go and kind of do that after the rest of the cameras leave and stuff like that. But yeah, the 5-year anniversary of that, everything happened. That happened up in Lawrence, and North Andover's coming up. And we're going to have a big story.
BigOnline.org. Check that out. The people in Lawrence are related to me somehow.
There you go, man.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, that is.
Yo, so what got you started in writing though? Like, what was like, especially with this culture? Like, what?
I'll give you two quickies. So, you know, my first is I always loved writing. I was like that guy who could. We all know. I know Oompa because I'm a huge fan of Oompa's writing.
Thank you.
We're talking about the actual albums, you know, and I was the guy who did it. You know, we could always, you know, read the back of the book, do the whole report. You know, but then so I'll fast forward. So I think it was right after I was still in college, right? And I was home for the summer, and it was like this summer when all the Lyris's Lounge shows were happening before the TV show. So it was like, you know, Faraone, Telequali, all these great shows, Club Speed, all the places you hear about in rap songs. And one day I'm online like a sucker, like everybody else, and I hear a dude, just nerdy ass dude, like be like, you know, girl comes up with a clipboard, and he's like, I'm with, I forget what magazine, I think it was with Giant Magazine, and she's like, oh, come on down.
No.
So this is like the internet existed, but I'm nerdy, but not nerdy enough to be on at that time. And so this was like a phone call world. And anyway, long story short, I got myself on a couple lists lying, making up magazines, said it was like with a school paper, right? And then I got caught. Outside SOBs, and it was embarrassing, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do it?
Yeah.
So I started pitching like album reviews, the next thing you know. And the other one I'll give, so fast forward when I get to Boston like 2004, and
good year.
This is gonna really date me. I guess I already dated, but
yeah.
My first big story has to do with a fax machine. So
sorry.
The Boston police, you know, they're always slick with it. They weren't just like,
come on, Dallas.
No hip hop. I guess they did that years later, but at that time, this is how they did it. If you ran a club, which is still the case, you have to have a police detail, okay? But they don't have to provide that detail. They could be like, no, we don't want your like tons of money, right? Mm-hmm. So what they did was they sent a fax out to clubs. This is 2004, I think, and they said, if you have hip hop, one rap song plays from the DJ, or forget about live hip hop, that wasn't happening downtown at the time, or anywhere really, we will not provide you that detail.
So
somebody leaked it to us, and it was a huge thing. I mean, I was kind of new here, I guess, like, I still do that kind of story. I don't know if it's naivete or stupidity or whatever, but anyway, I did it, and it was a huge thing. The police went nuts.
No, they won't.
And they relented. I mean, it was hugely embarrassing. I did it for the what was known back then as the Weekly Dig, and that was my transition from just writing about the music to, you know, it's not this music doesn't happen in a hopper, right? It doesn't happen in a vacuum. So ever since then, I stayed on music until I got to be, you know, really too old. Like I don't think anybody, I'd rather have somebody write a Oompa who's like really at the show, seeing what's going on the day-to-day or on the regular. But for me, I stayed with it, but I also started writing about investigative stuff, police stuff, and I could go on and on. I mean, you know,
how'd you get to know about Oompa though?
I mean, Oompa was just, by the way, I wanted to add, I'm a music fan. Even when I stopped like actively writing about it, I was still editing, right? So I would, you know, I tell my music reporters, you know, that they should treat their beat the way we do if you're covering the police. If you're covering courts, you got to be in court every day. If you're covering music, you better be at the clubs regularly. Like, you know, with Oompa, listen, Oompa was, you know, was one of the great acts of our time. By the way, I want to add one of your great shows. I think it was your first like headlining gig at one of the Boston Music Awards, where it was just, I remember being like almost brought to tears. You just brought down the house with some real personal
Boston
shit.
Music Act?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a big.
Boys,
I think it was the first year at the House of Blues,
That
and
was
maybe
the House of Blues,
second.
yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was
2018.
one of the great performances.
Wow,
I remember
thank
it
you.
very,
I
very
remember not
vividly.
having a belt.
Do you vote in the BMAs?
I do, but when I do, it's only honestly only in the categories I really I'm familiar with.
Well,
You
like,
know
how
what I
does
mean?
it work? Like, does the BMAs like decide who gets nominated and then people vote, or is it the other way around?
Well, I can nominate people cold, you know, and you know, you listen, you don't want to. Even though it's whoever's reading the ballots, you don't look like a sucker, like nominating your best friend if they're not active, right?
Yeah.
Let me know if y'all need some nominations for this year.
You know, so it's like, but honestly, you know, listen, it's a real process. You know, they send it out, and they send it out to people even older than me, like the James Sullivan's. No doubt.
So you're
no diss on Jim Sullivan.
You're on a special list.
I mean, the list. I mean, whatever it is. Talk to Oompa's on the Grammy list. Don't talk to me.
I'm not on your list though.
Yeah, whatever. But you know, Oompa has gotten on the. I don't know how that one works, but for the BMAs, it's a real official process. And the other thing,
get on that shit.
I gotta say, maybe it's because I'm not like on the scene day to day anymore, but I'm sure the same fights break out every time that the nominees come out. But I will say, no matter what, props to the whole crew over there that does it. It's a lot better than it used to be.
It's so much better.
Yeah, it used to be really
Last year's look lit.
You know, I used to make fun. 7L and Esoteric didn't have to drop an album for 5 years; they still be nominated for Best Rap Act. Oh my God! Like, Esoteric would make fun of it himself, you know. So it was like, but now they're actually in tune, and there's people involved who really know what's up.
I feel like last year they was not still in. Like they started a little bit getting in tune. Like I don't know. I don't want to be opposed and like have them like freaking hate me and like freaking ban me.
No,
or
say
some
your
shit. But, like,
piece.
Literally, I feel like it's not a space for the whole community, and I'm gonna stand on that forever.
Yeah.
And the people, like some people, really take that crazy to me. Like it's the Nobel Peace Prize, and it's not. Sometimes like we can be awarded for and. You know, this is crazy for me to be saying in front of y'all. Like, I'm just being real because like, I know y'all won. Like, and that's it. Like,
Now that's
whoever won,
I've never won. I'm the Susan Lucci. I'm the Susan Lucci of the Boston Music Awards.
Like being involved.
I'm saying in the sense of like, last year was the first time I felt like they got people like actually in it that was in the community, and then still some of them I was just like, how did y'all even get that? Like,
well, you know what I'm gonna
sometimes
say?
it's just like,
The Grammys don't ever get it right.
Never.
Somebody like J.
Never
Cole, I don't even know if he's ever won a Grammy at this point. J.
That's
Cole's
crazy.
never won a Grammy. Like Tyler, the Creator, took mad long to get one. Like I think nothing will get it right, and I think that everybody, and myself included, no matter how many categories I am or am not in, or win or don't win, I'm always gonna feel a kind of way, and that's gonna be valid because. But the beauty of it is that there's not 10 people in the music scene anymore. Like that people are looking at. People are looking at like a whole bunch of people, and I think that what's also interesting.
Win last year and not like
Did you win
5
anything for
years
your
ago.
last album?
Also, the other interesting thing is mainstream. Like we actually get to have a mainstream culture. We got so much culture that we get a mainstream culture. That's a like.
That is kind of wild.
That's fire.
That's fire. I'm
Like,
not
this
doubting
is
it.
that-
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's
I was talking
very
to Chris.
contradicting.
I was talking to Chris.
But I
before
feel
the
you
podcast,
though.
he was talking about
100.
names.
Well, one of the big changes is that we actually, you know, not like there haven't always been huge, even, you know, Grammy-winning artists out of Boston. From everyone from, you know, Michael Bivins to producers from years earlier, people don't really recognize, who generated that. But this used to be this weird thing where like, if somebody spent 10 seconds in Boston, like John Mayer went here for like school for one semester, they would like get a prize. They'd be, you know, and it's cool to see John Mayer perform, but it's the Boston Music Awards, and that's really changed. And I gotta say, as for Stiz, you know, I don't know how Stiz feels about things, but listen, I think it's fair that Oompa or Still Gold is on the same, you know, platform with whether it's Millie's or them, because the truth is this, because those artists know that they, you know, there's no difference. This is music, and you know, some people the firelights, but look, people have good years. Oompa's had a good year, and I think, you know, it's always interesting. What does freak people out is when somebody comes out of left field, and maybe just the music's there, but they haven't done the show. You know, that kind of throws people off.
It's kind of freaky. Like it's thrown me off before.
Yeah,
you know,
the other thing is artists are working arross genres. There's so many more categories. The categories used to be really stale. It was like metal,
they
rap.
added more. I can say that. Like, that's, I appreciate
they got
that.
R&B, pop, alt R&B.
Latina,
I don't think R&B.
Latino all the time. I feel like the Latino.
Nah, that's new as hell.
Category.
I didn't recognize some people. I just picked whatever name was the coolest. I was like, you see.
This guy. Well, I know my name finna get picked then, cause why would you call yourself Oompa?
If it was on there, you gotta vote, girl.
Say that.
Like I was like, I know him. Word.
What would you guys say to people that like feel like, hey, they're not noticing me? Like, what does that person need to do to get noticed?
You know, sorry.
You go first.
I feel like I hear that a lot. People come to me, and I got friends that have been in this stuff. I can cuss, right? I forgot. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got friends who've been in this shit for a while, and they've been making so many splashes. And you know, I won't say no names, but like they should have been recognized. And my thing is for them is just like there's nothing that another person can award you that you can't award yourself. You feel me? Like, and it's just like there's times that I feel like I get robbed because I got ego like everybody else, or I feel like I should have been in X category. Like, stop treating me like this and put me over here. Like, I'm dropping pop records. Like, I'm dropping like put me where I belong. But at the same time, it's like there's 500 people and there's 12,000 people on my Instagram. Like, who's gonna really get it right? Nobody can get it right, but what God put in me is right. Like, the universe, like, what I keep working on is gonna be right. So it's like, I just tell them, keep doing what you're doing, because the people that really rock with you, because at the end of the day, respectfully, the BMAs never put money in my pocket.
Yeah.
But everybody that loves me has put money in my pocket. Like, you know, so.
That's real.
You gotta find your family. That's
it.
I mean by that, because like I told the artist this before too. Not like 23andMe shit. No, not the 23andMe shit. Why are you stealing my recall joke?
You're good. You gonna bring it around every time.
Let me give a couple of.
But what I kind of meant, like, because I met an artist and he was kind of like, I'm not gonna like name drop him and anything like that, but he was doing shows
but his name
he did not belong at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't his crowd. He was making music that wasn't it to the crowd. It seemed kind of corny, especially what he was rapping about and shit like that. The subject matter. It was more like what he grew up on, what his culture was, which is not necessarily in line with what shows he was doing. I said, bro, why aren't you hitting up these colleges with these anime clubs and things like that and stuff you're into, and then incorporate that into your performance and find fans that way? Because you force feeding people your shit where you're just okay in that crowd, where you can excel and really do your thing. I'm not saying don't put yourself out there. I'll never say that. You should. But like, no, you got to know your spot a little bit. You got to find that core fan base. I always use Tyler Creator as an example. Bro, like, Tyler Creator fans are fucking insane, bro. Have you met these people? Like,
I'm worse than NBA.
I'm one.
Yeah, same.
I was there at the beginning of the Odd Future. You know, the guy who made that all happen has now been Me Too'd. I won't say his name, but you know, I have nothing respect for that crew, and I still love the original music as much. But you know, friends, that wasn't a backyard video. It was all set up, every inch of it, with a lot of talent. You know.
Yes.
But I want to give a couple examples, local examples, as far as like getting, because I know hopefully artists watch this, especially if Oompa's on. So first, I was going to say one thing that's great. That conversation you were having before about, you know, you put out full projects. Yeah. And that's great. I'm glad there are artists who still do that. But you've also been able to get, you know, do a lot of these other kind of things, right, to pay some bills in the years between.
Yes.
And that's a huge change in Boston, especially, by the way. Grants. I mean, we've had basically a grant-funded festival. That's the best show I've seen in years. Yeah. So many things. Boston Foundation supporting artists. These are things that were absolutely unthinkable 10 years ago. Okay? But as far as just grassroots artists wanting to get recognition, it's a cliche, but you got to kind of do something different, or do the big thing but do it right. So one example I want to give is Nick Shea, totally random artist. Nick Shea he's like a poet, artist. He does the equivalent of illustrate. He'll do the equivalent of like stand-up comedy in the park. He'll like set up a microphone and build this little grassroots fan base that grows a little bigger, right? He illustrates people's faces, writes rap songs about them. All right, so just totally, not that's for everybody, it's off the wall. And another example is Hassan Barkley, right? This is Hassan Barkley is just this unbelievably talented Boston artist. I don't want to put him in a category right now, right? But I will say this: if you're gonna listen, I hate social media. I do what has to be done. Anybody who looks at my accounts knows I'm getting mine other ways. I'm long term. I'm email. I'm website. I'm still on the socials, but man, forget it, right? I don't like it. But there are some artists who I'm really entertained by there. If you're gonna do it there, right? No matter what, you got to be there. But Hassan, I just really like his videos. He's just someone who came to mind. You know, whether somebody's just playing guitar in front of the Charles River, but he does it, and he doesn't seem to hate it. If he does.
then that's it.
It's a good, no, if he does, it's a good act because he's doing it, actually making the videos. And I know people get down on influencers or musicians who are heavy on the gram, but as much as I hate Instagram, whatever, man, that's work. It's a hustle.
It's working.
I don't want to go home and spend an hour and a half. I just want to watch Billions. I don't want to do like whatever, I just want to go mindless when I'm done working. But some people, they're doing these videos and much love to them.
Yeah, I got a friend who's an author. Like he writes books and he sold almost 10,000 books. Like just on the street.
Social media.
That's my hustle,
Yeah.
And he's from Boston. Shout out my homie Miz.
What up?
Yeah.
He makes little figurines for me, like specialized shit. He customizes hoodies and clothing for the people who buy his stuff.
Yep.
Like you gotta make it feel special to be part of your experience.
And it's not like the BMAs probably won't capture a Nick Shay, and that's okay. Like a Cake Swag who puts all her music out visually, and she be rapping her ass off, but
and has a line, right? Has a clothing.
Yeah, she has a fitness line.
Yeah,
like she's
dope too.
She's out hustling the best of them. And the Tory, she's not even on. She don't be on the internet like that, but she dropped the best project that I think came out of the city all year. I'll stand beside that. Actually, she dropped the best project
there it is.
that came out the city all year.
Drop it. What's the name of it?
Tory Pocket Knife.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
get it.
Pocket Knife. That R&B, all R&B kind of vibe.
Yo,
somebody's gonna kill me because I said that, but it's all right.
Before I forget, did you perform at like Nancy Music's like release party once?
No.
In Middle East?
No.
Well, Brandy did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I think you performed like
I did
one
with
song
Brandy.
real quick. Yeah, that's another one I saw.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, see, I remember. I was like, yo, I seen her there too. That was a dope ass release party. Shout out to Nancy.
Word. Shout out to Nancy.
And Oompa, are you going to give the secret of like colleges? There's a whole other realm of places to perform. So like, but I'm never going to get down on an artist who thinks they're not getting it for some reason. But there are like some doors you could kick open, like performing at schools, for example.
Oh my God.
That maybe it's not ideal, but you know what? It is ideal. And I'm going to give one on this. Tech 9 in an interview. I don't know if that's an interesting name drop, but he said something to me. It blew my head off my shoulders once. Slane went on tour with him for like 70 like shows and like 72 days, like very Tech 9, right? And Slane was like, dude, you got to see this. Every kid is decked head to toe in a $200 jersey. They got Tech 9 pants on. And when I interviewed Tech 9, I asked about it. He told me that his goal was to do shows in cities that don't have rap shows. He's like, most of the cities I perform in, the kids in there, that's the first rap show they ever went to, and they'll never forget it. And they turns them into the technician right off the bat, and they're just refilling that merch truck. So as far as same as it could do in schools, right? Yeah, that's a whole new potential fan base.
Yeah, like I feel like one of the things that I knew coming into this was I didn't know my sound. My first project out the gate, like, took off in the city, and I still didn't have a grasp of what I wanted to sound like, what I was gonna do next. I didn't know anything. It was my first time recording ever, and I was like, but you know what? I love to entertain, so I just continued to develop. Like, I just like being in front of people and doing it live. So once I knew I loved that, I kind of just learned to develop a show. I was studying the Beyoncés and the Kendricks and whatever, and I'm like, I just want to develop my show. So that became my angle. Some people drop records back to back because they can do that. I'm not somebody that can do that, but I can get up on the stage any day of the week and I can do me. So I think that what I ended up doing was just getting the attention of some like students, some college students. I went on college radio here or there. I invited, like, I would go hand out flyers at the colleges at like big times where I knew they was out, like spring break, before spring break, and then when they would come back in the fall. I knew that they were looking for shit to do. Some of them just got there for the first time.
Love it.
So I would go hand out flyers and just tell them to come to my show. They pull up to my show, 2 or 3 of them. Next thing you know, they're on a board at some like student organization, and they're bringing me in, and I'm impressing the advisors, and the advisors want to bring me back 2 and 3 years, and they're in contact, and I'm going to NACA now, and I'm meeting other advisors and other groups, and they're like, yo, come through. And then I got with John Bricker from Pretty Polly Productions, brought me out for a couple locally big shows, and we developed a rapport that was beautiful, and he went on to be my manager.
There it is. There it is. And I think, that if any kind of economy, there's one kind of operation that always has money, by the way. Colleges and universities, friends.
No, that's facts.
In the pandemic, I was cool. I was cool in the pandemic.
Virtual
I got the
performances
PPP
and
the
whatnot.
virtual performances.
Yeah.
Lit.
I had some of those.
Lit.
Now, what I'm hearing from both you guys, though, is like, you got to do a lot of work and bust your ass figuring out your angles, where you can go, where you can pop. And that's definitely, I think, what like a lot of people don't do. They think they just need to go to the studio all the time. And like, you need to be in the studio probably like 4 hours a month. You know,
yeah, and even if you
the
can,
rest of the time do other shit.
Yeah.
Even if you can, like, but you don't do that. But even the people, if let's say you're into recording a new song every day, you gotta wrap that up. That has to, maybe you need some video, you need some good imagery,
Content,
you need some
whatever.
people to tweet that, and that is work.
Yep.
So if you know, I know, and not to diss anybody, but if you're out there just rock, you know, dropping 2-3 tracks a week and not realizing why nobody picks it up, because there's the people who are really doing that. Millie's is another great example.
He's great.
Who puts out a single that almost lives as itself, which is something pretty new to hip hop, frankly. Or you know, that doesn't always necessarily fit into a pie later on.
Right.
But there's a whole campaign built around that. It may not feel like it. Feels
But
very
there is.
grassroots.
He's consistent.
But there is, right?
He's always branding it. Even if the song just gets slotted in, you're always engaged with the
There's
brand of
something going
Millie's.
on.
Yeah, facts. And I feel like you like people. You know, people always are like, oh, you know, what I got to do, and I'm just like, I think that some of us feel like because the 5 people around us think that we're the most greatest talent in the world, that everybody else should feel that way, and they will feel that way. But you gotta like, I can't be like, yo, I'm great. Listen to me. Imagine walking to somebody and saying that. You gotta be like, yo, what's your name? Okay, word. What you like? Report, and you do that even in your marketing. Like you do that even in how you get music to people. People just be like, oh, they don't fuck with me because, you know, they hating. And it's like, no, nigga, there's like 60,000 songs uploaded, 120,000 uploaded. What makes you important?
Bro, that's, and I think that looking at yourself like that is a very difficult thing to do in life in general, not just music. And people just really need to get over themselves a little bit when it comes to it. Like I've met artists that think, I'm just gonna throw shit at the wall, hope it sticks, and you better fucking appreciate it. It kind of reminds me when you meet those artists who just splatter shit on a canvas and like, pay me for it. You know
and it works sometimes.
It does.
It works sometimes.
Sometimes they vomit it onto the canvas. I've seen that.
The vomit angle is interesting.
Lady Gaga's like, friend is a vomit artist.
That's what I mean. It's not calculated in a way, and you're not really being thoughtful behind it, and you're not showing it love. Because I feel like when you show things love, that's when it grows. Like when you talk to somebody who grows weed plants, bro, those growers are fucking weird a little bit because they're obsessed with their plants, yo. They live with them things. They call them, they name them and shit. They talk to them like they babies.
And sometimes they don't have to like love it the same way, because some people could get off a song, like Millie's could get off a song and it gets off. Like I can't do that. That doesn't mean he doesn't love it. He just built something around him that allows him to be able to drop that regularly and people are still paying attention to it. I can't do it. Like not that people wouldn't pay attention to it. I don't know if they would, because I didn't do it. But for me, I take too long on a song. I take too long on a release. I'm thinking about the mark. I'm overthinking. Like that's my downfall.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Do you feel like that's holding you back, or is it an asset?
Yes, it's holding me back. Maybe who knows, right? Because like you only live in the universe you live in, so I don't know what's on the other side.
But you're in it, and there's something to be like. How many episodes of podcast you've done so far?
This is 149.
Well, I mean that's case in point, right? Because not that you know if there's something to be said about being around. I mean, you know, it's not like I am like super successful or make gobs of money, but people are like, wow, Chris Faraone's still doing it. Chris Faraone's still doing it. It's because I'm still doing it. I care about it. And there are people who are still doing it, whether a producer who maybe there's highs and lows, but podcasts especially, right? It's I keep hitting your mic. It's about like that. It's about.
I'm honored.
No, consistency is important too, but just like doing it. So like when somebody's like, it ain't happening for me. How long you been doing it? I hate to be Gary V over here, but you know, it's cool.
6 months a year.
You know, is it part-time? Or do you get home from the grueling job, which we've all done? And I know it's tough to get in the booth, to get on the keyboard, but are you doing it?
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
I told myself when I make as much money rapping and poetry as I do working as a teacher, I was going to quit teaching. In June 20th.
You was a teacher?
Yeah, I was a teacher. I taught math and English.
Really?
So I'm just
Great.
Middle school.
What middle school?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. You said what?
What middle school?
Tech Boston, and then the pandemic hit, and I diversified a little bit, and I started teaching at Cathedral, where I met like my mentee, who's like incredible rapper. He became like but
Name drop him.
Oh, Day to Dawn. He's 15 years old.
Oh, can we talk about Day to Dawn, please?
Yes, please.
If you haven't heard of this kid, it's your nephew, right?
Yeah, it's my nephew. But he became my nephew. He's not my blood nephew, but you can't tell me otherwise. That's my baby. Yeah.
He so we saw him at the testing. Have you been to the testing lab yet, Chris? In Brockton? So it's a great event. You should definitely check it out.
You should get in touch.
It's at,
I heard about it.
that'd be sick. So it's a bi-weekly event at the testing lab, or the Sound Lab in Brockton, which is a big studio there. And essentially 10 artists or producers come up and play like 3 songs, and then a few of us on the panel give them feedback.
Cool.
And there's like, it's always packed, full of creatives. It's really, really fun.
And then Dallas will wrestle them at the end.
It reminds me of some stuff that used to go on a long time ago, industry stuff.
Yeah, and Oompa was a guest panelist last time. That's how we met. That's why she's here.
Love it.
Oh, like the most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Was that your first time? You ever performed there?
No.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Yeah. Oh, first of all, it's dope. Cause like I think about the show that you was talking about earlier, Mark Maron. He used to have these showcases all the time, and they didn't feel corny, like And you walk up and somebody's supposed to be impressed. He would have these shows that was just the culture, and I feel like that kind of went away for a little bit. So having the testing lab where people come humbly to say, I'm giving you my music and my performance, can you give me feedback? I think that, and it's not like winning, losing, it's just like feedback. I think that that's beautiful. Like,
it's really,
I had a great time.
Awesome how, like, it's very rare that somebody gets like pissed off if they get negative feedback. Because you expect, I can't even believe people do it. Like, it's hard enough to get up and perform.
That's a proving ground.
That's to stand there and like,
real, man.
Take a bunch of criticism is like, it's pretty intense.
And they take it too, like, like granted, everybody is, not generous. Everybody's mindful of people being humans. And but they're not afraid to say some hard. There was some hard shit said, and I respected it. I was like, this is how it should be. But I'm sorry, my nephew came through. He was last. They put him last. Like, and I was like, and in my mind, I didn't want to tell anybody he was my nephew.
Well, he's almost last. Because then the dude with the Apple Vision Pro came up.
Right.
And got his set in.
Talk about like being humble. My man's got humbled. Like, I was like, yo, you're doing too. I didn't even listen to you after how you acted. But anyways, they put my nephew last before this clown got up. I said it. Come see me. Like, and like, I didn't want to tell nobody. You said what?
Auntie Power.
Oh, period. You know what I'm saying? And he got up. He was last. And I didn't even know he was going to be last. They kind of forgot about him. And he got up. He shut that shit down.
He's unbelievable. 15 years old.
15 years old.
Like, he was going, and I didn't know he was 15.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, who is this kid? He's like, he might be the best rapper I've ever seen. I get pretty hyperbolic a lot, but like, he was incredible. And then he's like, I'm 15. And we're all like, what the fuck? And then he's like, I started trying rapping like a year ago.
He rapped in my class for the first time.
That's crazy.
He did poetry. He was 14. He did poetry, and his first song was Boo Boo. But I loved him because he was down for it. And he glued himself to my hip. Like, I would try to go for lunch, and I would put my shade down and lock my doors, and he's coming on the side door through somebody else. Like, so you said something about like rhyme structure, like rhyme schemes, and then you said something about plots and storytelling, and he would just glue himself to my hip every day. He come in with a verse every single day, every day. I promise, not lacking. And he ended up like, he's like,
I love hearing that.
He's wild.
That's the real work.
So Chris,
he's wild.
You said?
He's a Virgo too.
For real, the thing I'm most proud of is, one of the reasons I keep it, regional is I love working with young reporters. The Globe, much like the NFL, doesn't have a farm team, and they take advantage of all us, but that's fine because I'm not doing it for the Globe.
Okay.
We're developing young reporters, the diverse group of young reporters, and they move up pretty fast now. There's not a lot of people in the game, but it's the work I'm most proud of. We just had this story. Y'all familiar with the story of Al Curry?
No.
Al Curry was one of the first. He was the first black firefighter in his house in Dorchester. He's a Vietnam veteran, and in I think it's 81. Yeah, I think it's 1981. He got I get totally choked up telling this story. He's he gets he was attacked by other firefighters in the house with chemicals. They put chemicals in his shower. It burned his entire insides.
Shit.
Okay. Al Curry, everybody in Roxbury, like we talked to all, reporters, stuff. People knew the story, but it never gotten anywhere. He never got his full pension. He's always around Roxbury. He plays chess outside the library. Okay, that's where we met him. Now he's probably like 75. When we met him, it's 10 years ago. So he never got his full pension, right?
Wow.
Charles Yancey, who was a former city councilor, used to fight for it. Long story short, 10 years later, 2 weeks ago, we find out the Boston City Council finally voted to give Al Curry his pension. It still has to go through the state, but the reason it happened was because Alejandro Ramirez, who's one of our great young reporters, Alex Ramirez, right, from the North Shore. He now is an editor. He's one of the great reporters that came out of our, did early work with our nonprofit, and that's where it's at for me.
Yo, pay Al Curry. You know? Make that a hashtag.
Yo, check it out, for real. Al Curry, look at the story. We just put a post up about it, and this is the kind of pressure that matters. When it goes to the state, get him his pension, get his family what they deserve. It's beyond. It is the most Boston of Boston stories.
Dude, are you sure it's
they couldn't just. Yeah. It almost happened a few times, and back when the city council was mostly white people, and just not just white people, some bad, fucking horrible white people. They would just. It almost happened, then they'd be like, nah, can't do it. Yeah. Just all they do is like that, right? Yes. Then it moves to the state, but we'll see. But working with young people is what it's all about. We're not gonna, I don't know what I guess the editorial role in your regard would be, production, working with young people. You already do as a teacher.
Outlawed is like a bunch of peers, but he's the youngest cat in the group, and it's just like he outworks us all. He keeps us young. Like I'm not saying like we're not that we are pretty far apart, but I'm not saying like I'm an elder, but like he keeps me. I don't want to do this all the time. I want to quit a lot of times, and he's just like.
Have you made music with him?
You said what?
Have you made music with him?
Nah, I'm making him work for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. He's like, when you give me this feature on this song called Outlaw, he's like, I'm gonna out rap you. You can't redo your verse. So honestly, I'm in the gym doing my push-ups on that verse because he's a Virgo. He's September 12th. So if he says he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. And I can't go out like that on the first joint. Like I can't go out like that because he could probably out rap me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but matter of fact, I know he's probably watching this. So you heard me say it.
This is mad unrelated, but I gotta ask because you seem to know very hip with the horoscopes.
Oh yeah, I'm into astrology. I do readings.
Okay, what got you into that?
Shit. Actually, I got a homegirl. She's crazy as shit in undergrad. Her name is Shelly.
That's not a good way.
She's an Aquarius. She's like my craziest white girlfriend. Like
that's usually gets you into it. Right?
Yeah, she's crazy, and I'm like, I'm here for it. Like I love crazy. Like let's go. So that's my dog, and she just was like, oh my god, you're an Aquarius, and that means, and I'm like, yo, slow down, relax.
Slow down.
But she had this big tapestry on her wall. I love passion, so I'm like, what are you really passionate about? So she put me on, and she read me for filth. She did my birth chart, and I was like, from there I fell in love. But more and more I just like listen to people, and I love people, so I really like sit with their energy for a while. And there's like 12 archetypes, so you kind of give me an energy and you fall somewhere in there and it makes sense to me.
Like you ever get into like numerology too as well?
Nah, I ain't doing all that. Yeah, that's too many things to remember.
So I would say that my knowledge of horoscope shit is a little bit slightly too extensive sometimes, only because like my mom's was obsessed with it for a long time.
Numerology?
No, horoscopes.
Oh yeah, I'm
and all of that astrology, all that shit. So I would she had like literally looked like a Bible, and I'm like, let me read this shit.
The astrology book.
Yeah, I said, let me read this shit. I read it like front to back. I was like, okay. And then I would ask people about it, and then you get into very minute details of it and shit like that. So I'm definitely aware of it, but you just on point with it, dog.
Mm-hmm. I could probably guess like with like 80% accuracy on 80%. A good day. On a good day.
Yo, baseball players, if they batting 1 for 3, they good. So
hey, well I'm all right from the line. That's it.
And you said you're a Virgo too?
Say it again?
Are you a Virgo?
Absolutely not.
Aquarius.
No, but I forgot.
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, my sister's one too.
Okay, yeah, I'm absolutely not a Virgo. Sorry.
I don't like the way you said that.
Chill. I love Virgos. I just am not one. We need Virgos. Because they get shit done.
I don't like the way she said that to you.
I take no offense.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I take very little pride in like any.
I'm an Aquarius. I got a Taurus moon. That's Earth sign energy. And I got a Gemini moon. Gemini rising like you. We chatty. Yeah, chatty. Pimp game strong.
You guys think we should find out what the strain of the week is?
Or like just the
Can I have it?
I think we need a doctor, bro.
I think Anybody in the crowd a doctor?
Is that doctor?
Full disclaimer, YouTube, where he's not a real doctor, but just got to say that.
No, yes he is.
For the disclaimer.
He's my doctor.
He says, yeah. So we got Dr. Hightower coming to the show.
Dr. George Hightower.
Mr. G Hightower.
Who's written for me quite a bit.
Shout out Green Care Collective. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out, big shout out.
They got some of the best products in the.
Always bringing it.
Absolutely.
You need to come to Muwda to buy.
All right,
some.
George, take a seat.
I will get there.
What you got for us?
Some Green Care Collective. They got
Muwda.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so
I forgot about my. We talked about packaging.
Pineapple bride, that sounds good, man.
So
Like the packaging.
I like that packaging.
So
Are you Aquarius or Pisces?
Oh, you gotta guess. You gotta
He's
guess.
an Aquarius or a Pisces?
I'm an Aries.
An Aries.
Wrong.
Swing and a miss.
Yo, so
March?
he said
April. I was born on Easter Monday,
Jesus.
1985.
Are
When you take as much acid as him, though, can you end up as an
You probably end
You
up
can
as-
like be a become you shit the overtake the window shifts.
100%. You can melt into something else. All right, let me stop. Yeah, nah, but I bet you anything, any amount of money you got, either Pisces, Aquarius, and your moon or your
Maybe.
rising. I promise.
She'll do your chart,
some
bro, after
weird-
the show.
You can do a lot of other things to me too.
Jesus Christ.
More importantly, I want to see more of your videos. I was watching them this morning.
Nice save.
Seriously, like having just finished a MBA focusing on branding, innovation, and strategy, I was really impressed in how good the storytelling was.
Damn.
And not just the lyrics, but how you, especially thinking about as we go forward. It's important for all the neurodivergent people who have different sensitivities or different ways of learning that you told a similar story in several different fashions in your videos, on top of which your lyrics slap.
Thank you. Wow.
See,
Wow. Thank you.
Listen, I sent him to Spotify.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
He was writing me all morning
listen to
about
this
how much
song.
he loves Oompa.
And then I look for the videos because I'm kind of a
No, I know
weirdo.
you do.
I don't have a Spotify
Listen,
account, so I look at the videos.
I knew the second I sent him one
fan.
thing, he
That's-
was gonna know way
He's a
too
new
much
fan.
about Oompa. Like knowing Dr. Hightower, he was gonna know way too much about you from that one
Yeah,
day.
I love
And I was
it.
just like,
I
word,
love that for
research.
me, honestly.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
for real.
Thank you, Dr.
You got a
Hightower.
fan.
Wait, what's the new one?
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
You got a fan with a PH, not a Z at the end.
There we go. So Mr. Hightower, we got to
sir.
talk about what you're showcasing us for
sure.
Green Care Collective. Yo, tell us what you got here.
So we've talked about a few of the other brands in our vertically integrated production facility, the House of Brands, Business School Facts. Thank you, Patricia Hambrick. One of the things that we brought out, unfortunately, as you met Mike, he's now on his way to Colombia. R.I.P. Mike.
R.I.P. Mike.
Or rather, rebirth Mike in a moment.
Shout out to Colombia and Venezuela.
Mike Cohen. He
Arepas.
he did a lot of the original branding story and actually helped to bring House of Cultivar out of Seattle. Remember, this was one of the first things we talked about 2-3 weeks ago. And it is, I hope they get more and more recognition. They're certainly in Massachusetts over the last year and a half have been getting more. Their focus when they're doing their pheno hunting, i.e. trying to make a new strain, is not just smell, is not just THC, it's also flavor, so terpenes. And that's really something they lean into, and it's something that's worthwhile because when the weed is fresh or properly cured, you literally open these jars behind, and I love bonsai. I appreciate and respect cookies. Nothing smells or tastes like House of Cultivar, at least on our menu.
I will agree with that doubly. I don't even sell this shit or work for them, but people were standing out here. I was like, yo, this is what you need to buy. I was pointing right at all this shit here. That's cool. That's all good. All right, what you buy? These Canadians came in here, and I was like, first of all, what are you doing here? How did you get into my country? But then second, I was like,
Not my country.
what strain?
You're single-handedly your country.
First of all, I was born here, sir.
House of Cultivar is great. You
Yeah,
have the
House-
lamb's bread these days or what?
Yeah, I wish, but also the first person who put, this is something for a little bit later in the conversation, the first one who put me on to House of Cultivar was our man Dan McCarthy.
Yeah,
He's the one
I've
who
written
dropped
about
it.
I've written about them. Dan's put me on them. They have a lot of great strains for real.
Yo.
I know that jar. When I see that
6,000
jar,
strains
You know what
in
it
their,
is.
will follow.
nutty.
they have over 3,000 strains in their tissue culture library.
Come on.
Yo,
That's too much, dude. Like,
Bro,
they can't be
Yeah,
that
sure.
different.
Fucking
They
tissue.
can't be
You
that
only
different.
need like this much for the tissue library. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Listen, so
Exactly. Cop face, cop face.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Free the cop face. Free the
He's
cop
gonna dig them every
Free the
time.
cop face. You
Oh,
know, but
look,
like,
Karon's trying to do his best cop face right now.
Well, no, it's not
Importantly,
working.
importantly.
It's not-
You can't. No.
You gotta talk.
What
You
did I
gotta
just-
talk. Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
Just happened.
No. So you
Put your hat like that, you
yes,
look like
you're
a
right.
bad snitch.
Well, actually, no. Remember, we learned a couple
I
weeks
don't
ago. You
buy
gotta tuck
from
the
you, though.
ears
I'm
in. You gotta tuck
sorry.
the ears in first. So, yo,
Just let me turn my hat over.
Straight
Yo, cop face. Show him what to do. Let's go. Let's leave with this. Yo, Chris, pay attention.
I don't know what's going
You're
on.
about to
Right
find out. You're about to find out.
Tuck the ears.
Oh, you're tucking ears?
Yeah.
Wow, the ears really
You have
did
like a
it.
stern face.
Wow.
I can't tuck ears.
I had no idea.
You have to put your hat back at least all the way. Not
When y'all
not
had
B-boy
a
back,
police
but, like,
as
all
a
the way
guest,
back.
I was like, oh, that's a little off
Pretend that you're
center.
an undercover.
Police as a guest.
You had a police as a guest, right? Like
We have him
somebody.
as a host.
Cost-based.
Yeah, it was didn't you have somebody come up? It was like Officer somebody or somebody else.
Officer Coughtface.
It was on your page or was
It was the officer to his doctor.
It was somebody who was talking about something, and I was like,
I don't think we've had a cop.
Other than
you got real concerned about that too.
Was it you?
He's like, my undercover sting operations. Fuck.
Shit.
Yo,
I'm gonna look it up.
Back
Is
to
he the one who sent the fax in 2004?
That was me.
What?
I fucking knew it.
He sent the fax in 2004.
He sent the fax. Do you know about the fax?
I mean,
Dun, dun, dun,
I
breaking
did.
news.
I've used fax machines.
That's why fucking Chris.
The fax machine.
I'll say that.
Chris has like a fucking 30-year sting for you, bro. He fucking proud.
I still have that fax.
He's getting to the bottom. He's getting his scoop right now.
Wow. Yeah. So, but back to House of Cultivar, I got introduced to them out west in Seattle. Out there, they're considered like top of the line. Like when you go in there, you're looking at like the cookies brand, exotics, and then you go House of Cultivar. That's top shelf.
Yep.
Because all the bud tenders recommend it. That's all they smoke. Because the bud tenders there get a free sample pack like every time they drop something or every week.
I'm a bud tender.
And they throw out some shit. Like, cause one of my friends was a bud tender. He would throw out some of it and just be like, I want this brand and I want House of Cultivar, please. Yeah. And then everything else will get tossed to the side. So the brand recognition is there. They go crazy, and it's no wonder that they're partnered, with cookies, and they got the best fucking stand up here in Muwda.
Holla.
You know what I'm saying?
I really want to try this one. This one of the week.
So I'll grind it up for you when we call it Shake for Coughtface.
It's fucking.
Here we go.
Sorry. No, he only smokes
Just
shake.
don't rest them.
Some thoughts here without getting too deep into it. So this was an older graphic. This is their flavor wheel. What's been updated is obviously not 3,000 strands.
He got charts and shit.
I got a pure table. What they do is really cool. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to be as visual as possible. Here's the idea.
That's sick, actually.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 primary categories. Those categories are defined by their flavors and smells.
That's all you need. That's it. That's all I need is a category.
Right. Now, what's cool about the categories we talked about a couple weeks ago, trust your nose, especially if you're new or you're looking for something different. If your nose likes it, it probably means that your body wants to consume it or is open to consuming it.
Do they have like sommeliers for weed?
Is that why?
I thought you were looking for Somali.
Sensi sommelier.
I was like, damn,
It's
trying to
pronounced
party, huh?
sensi sommelier.
Or interpreter. How about
Say sommelier?
or interpreter is the other one.
Sensi sommelier. If you want to be French about it. So just to give an example, so Pineapple Ride, one of the strains we have out here right now, it is in this family with 4 things. Now, these 4 strains have different effects, right? They are not saying that, like, if it's just a flavor and smell, you only want something energetic in one of these 4. What you will have is you could have an indica sativa hybrid, but they all have roughly the same flavors and smells. Wowzer's coming out very soon. We have a great one. We have a new drop coming on Tuesday.
Right there, right?
More importantly than that, what I'm really excited about, back to Somalia, Maroon Baboon.
Maroon balloon.
Maroon Baboon.
Remind me, I have a question for you, doctor, after this.
Yes.
Can I ask you now?
Please. whenever
Okay,
you
so
like.
I get really paranoid, and I hear that it's all about the terpenes and something else. I don't really know. Terpenes and somebody else's
I know somebody
ends.
named Terpenes too.
Right.
Yeah, well, you should be scared of turpentine. Because that'll catch your house on fire. You don't even need to put a
That's
match
not what
on
I
it.
want,
A
yeah.
turpentine rag. No, so it's actually, slight correction, it's actually the THC that is likely to give you more of that paranoia, not the terpenes. I find, for instance, if I have a really, really potent distillate, 90+% vaporizer, and there's nothing else besides THC, it gets me kind of tweaky. I'm not a crackhead, but it definitely gets me.
We had a crackhead on the show. We're the first podcast with a crackhead on the show.
Recovering former.
Shout out to Adam. Yo, he's the man. We're gonna bring back the crack parade for Mass Ave. Yo, it's happening, bro. We got Chris. He's gonna write an article about it. It's gonna be dope.
And he hosts
He said, don't co-sign
He
me.
said,
and
don't put me in
he
that
hosts
shit.
the open mic.
My
He
name
hosts the
Bennett,
open
I
mic.
ain't in it.
Open mics at Muwda every Monday for comedies, but
Holla. What are these things? A couple other things. We also make different products out of these wonderful House of Cultivar flavor things. So we have already in stock, we have a new drop earliest next week, slaps. Like actually slaps. SLAPs.
so
With a
are we
Z.
gonna get a preview?
Right.
You'll get
Okay.
a preview.
3
Shout out to
Z's.
George.
Slaps you right to
I'm
sleep.
getting a little lost. What is the strain?
So the strain is called slaps. SLAPZ.
Okay, that's the strain of the week. Slaps.
No, he's showcasing House of
All
Cultivar.
the
as a
shit.
brand.
Because
What's the one?
Which
What's
one do you
the
want? Do you
George?
think people should really try out to get introduced to House of Cultivar? Something right now that could get in the store.
Answer. Thank you for the question. E32 train wreck only available in smalls.
Wow.
Wow, that does sound crazy.
That sounds long.
Old school too.
Yeah, that's the train on the way to like Utica in New York, right?
Yeah, that's right. To keep it concise, the E32 version of Trainwreck, which is one of the best strains in my mind for Steve, has the last 10 years come out of this wonderful country called America. It is an amazing sativa. It's called Trainwreck because if you put too much gas into the train, it might just slip off the tracks. So you can go from being amazingly energetic to having the most distracted thoughts possible.
Which is awesome sometimes.
Now the E32 is cool because as a brand stamp or somebody's like time stamp, somebody's fact stamp, we were talking earlier about things like last days was talking about like lots of locations make a new product or a new track or a new beat, but then it gets lost because some more commercial person's like, oh, it came from LA, not Boston. Or it came from Boston, but not Haiti. The E32 signifies that this is in 1998 created by the man who actually created Trainwreck. So if you get our Trainwreck, that's what you want. That's our strain of the week.
There we go. Like that's honestly, I might have to get some money out the ATM after this. You know what I'm saying? But like,
it's in stock. It's in stock
yes,
right
sir.
now.
It is in stock, and there will be more coming soon.
I'll smoke with you. I'll smoke with you if you're from New York. I'll smoke with you.
I'm from New York.
I mean,
You from New York? Don't do that.
I'm dead dogs. I'm from New York.
No, it's because
them two don't mix. Don't do that. Yo, tell me you from New York and dead dogs in the same sentence.
One of Nadi's first episodes with us, she goes, "I don't smoke," and it's like, "Well, actually, I just don't buy weed, so I don't say I don't smoke."
Yeah, so she's a smoke show, so she should get the weed for free and share with the rest of us. Is what it should be.
Gotcha.
That's community right there.
Has there been any developments in the Nadi and Dr. Hightower romance yet?
Yeah, what's up with that?
You said they
I've
what?
been
Has
starting
there
rumors.
been any developments?
Sparks.
Sparks? Okay.
Oh, you just have sparks everywhere.
That's
Wow.
I ignored that.
We're going to stay on that. We're going to do our investigative reporting.
I'm about to come to you as a woman. Like,
Watch out. And here's just to be clear, it's a lowercase d for a reason. I'm not a doctor.
Come on, you're not supposed to
No.
Wait, let's tell him that. So let's tell him that.
It's a low.
I don't know what's going on.
Don't cancel me yet. Don't cancel me yet. Don't cancel me
He set up
yet.
a pleasant surprise for you there, Nadi.
There we go.
Wow.
It's Oompa now.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I don't want to get cancel cultured, so let me just.
It's called canceled. You don't get the whole culture.
Lowercase d.
You don't even know the. I don't know if you can get canceled if you don't know the term.
Small packages. And you know what? You can be a shower and a grower at the same time.
Okay.
But more importantly, to the point earlier,
Very inclusive of you.
I'm not a
Two
doctor.
things can be true.
Wait, what did he say?
I am not.
He's saying you can be a shower and a girl.
I'm not a doctor because I couldn't tell you about why weed works for different things if I was a doctor.
And because he didn't go to medical school.
That's why he went on a podcast.
B, no bud tender is ever going to be a doctor. Don't let them trick you.
What if you're a psychologist or like?
Shit don't count.
So we talked about this last week. So business psychology was my undergrad major at Columbia,
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
social impact MBA at BU. Shouts.
Shout out BU.
They still haven't given me my degree, but you know that's on them, not me.
So this is, and just to add on to his warning, I knew someone who was a bud tender who kept mixing up what sativa and indica are.
yeah.
He kept saying, no, sativa will put you to sleep and this and that. I'm like, dude, are you like on the spectrum,
In
bro?
the crib, indica.
You work at the medicinal store, bro.
Yes, the medicinal store. Just like Netto was a medicinal store. When
Yo,
in
we
fact
don't
it
gotta
was-
talk about that place.
Thank you, we won't.
Next
That
episode.
fucking old bank you talking about?
It's a dope location, though, man.
Transition slightly.
That bank is dope.
We're
man.
supposed to.
My childhood bank.
Fuck that place.
I'm not recommending people go there, but listen, it's an old bank. It's
Which
fine.
one?
And you know, it was the most successful dispensary in the whole country for a while.
Highest grossing.
Yeah, but
It was, yep.
as my friend said, what if there was only one liquor store for Brookline, Boston, Cambridge,
be.
and Somerville for
fitness.
2 years?
Speaking of lines that I use when I sell things, that's literally, I took that out of his mouth.
I thought you were gonna do a cocaine joke, bro. I'm like, Jesus. So
But I think what's interesting, and I'll just take a little pause and put my man on, on
you
spot
took a little
here.
pause when you said the little D thing, but go on.
Ye took a pause, not me.
Ooh.
I knew what I was saying. I wasn't stutter. Did I stutter? Because I am dipped in butter.
You did not.
I am dipped in
You
butter.
did not. Jesus.
No, that's West Coast. That's
What's going on? He's out here like.
Yo, bro, you just cracking me up. Go on.
What I will say is that I really appreciated the fact that our good mutual best friend Dan McCarthy, who is one of the best communication
Dan McCarthy pays him $10 every time he says his name
in
on
the
there.
entire country. He's gotten his dispensary, which is amazing. It's on the opposite side of the state, so we can give it a shout. Into many amazing places. But I think one of the best things that he did for me, especially as I was developing my career and trying not just to be a hustler on the bicycle with quality product.
He was a good hustler, though. He used to do that whole million different kinds of weed when everyone else had one.
You love those guys.
He had 15.
Did you come with like a crazy case and shit?
That's a
Did
topic
you
for
have a
another
trench
video.
coat, bro? Like,
Dude, it was like that. He had a brieffice, though, for real.
Briefcase. I had a Duffy.
Did you bust out the chart?
Or a bag, like a biker's bag that, in my head,
Smell-proof
20 years from now, he'll have had a cravat.
If you brought out a chart,
Yeah, you did bring out a chart,
Basically.
But one of the things that Dan did was really cool was like when he saw that I was enthusiastic about cannabis and he had spent a lot of time in California, knew what that market was. He's like, hey, you need to go talk to my man over at Phoenix. He actually also cares about really good weed. And we're like, great, cool. Who's this weirdo who had more hair when I first met him?
damn, bro, shots. It's because you didn't write that article for me about the parade.
He's cough face. He's in his cough face mode.
still-
Point is, Chris was like, what can we write about? And I was like, well, we're 2009, 2010. We're starting to get testing regulations. How about the fact that we start to write about if we're going to have a real legalized weed business, we damn well better have proper testing standards. And so got the opportunity to feed some articles, feed some information, be that weed nerd, and y'all just
Here we
ran
are
with it.
15 years later, and there's still no proper testing standards in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
fun.
That's another 2 hours, but
Yeah. Shout out to other articles you helped us read, right? Like, for instance, right now, why for the last 11, going on 12 months, is the commercial wholesale market crashing? And why are retail prices crashing, which is actually really good for consumers? It's because there's too much damn weed on the market.
True.
And most of it's mediocre.
get yours, go out.
And the thing is,
Stockpile, freeze it.
and I'll tell you, the dudes on the street are out marketing them and outselling them as far as quality goes.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out my homie Filipinos.
Yeah, the dudes
He's
are
like,
like,
yo, if you know somebody,
charge.
you'll be outdoing almost everything out there. Like these guys.
Cape
compete-
Verde's got the best weed.
Yeah, it's best prices.
Maybe.
The
Yeah, best prices.
Yo, but like, yeah, shout out to all her cousins that I fuck with them too.
Not all her cousins.
Low key. I'm not,
Cousins.
but yo, these guys compete, and there's some of the top brands that compete with the quality wise and everything like that, and the display packaging and shit. Because all the streets did is say, oh, y'all are doing that? That's a good idea. And they fucking tripled down on it. The fucking baggy Mylar bag shit, yeah, Burner started it with cookies, but then they said, nah, we doing special designs with the bags. Shout out High Tolerance and doing the Can't Feel My Face
Those are
with
crazy.
Joel Santana. Yeah, man.
Or we got kids who are literally, I can't tell you, it's at least 2 or 3 times a week where someone comes in kind of seeming like simple Simon and trying to get me to sell them empty bags because we have empty bags. I'm like, the hell do you want an empty bag for? And they're like,
that
I
market
don't
was
know.
crazy.
I want an empty bag.
No.
I'm like, do you want one bag? Because you can have one. They're like, no, I want
150.
15.
No, the fake Mylar bag market was crazy, bro. You
Yeah.
could go walk into a fucking dollar store, be like, oh, that fake ass cookies bag, let me get that.
Yup.
And then they would put their mids in it and fucking out and sell it to you.
Facts. Burner
So-
was not cool about that.
No, of course he shouldn't be, because you put in a bad name to his bud. Because now people, when they think of it, they be like, "That's that bullshit they sold me."
It cost a lot of money, but it didn't come through.
Yeah, and then they copy the names, so it'd be wild.
Yeah, because when I tried cookies in LA versus when I tried cookies out here, like some people had the good shit, but then there was like, I don't know, I was smacked in LA.
I'm still waiting
When
for
I
your
smoked-
Cape Verdean themed strains.
Yeah, seriously.
I know.
Me too.
I told you, you know.
Pudding.
Talk to the doctor. He'll give you the
That you
cookies
put
here
up
that'll
for
get
God,
nice and
Whoa.
twisted.
That part.
What?
He'll give you the good cookies here. They got plenty of strains that'll put you on the floor.
I love
y'all,
to eat
I don't
cookies.
smoke if it's not free, though. I'm just saying this is when I
That's what I
was
said.
paying, and I was pissed off because I was paying. Now
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not paying no
That's
more.
the part of the story. You paid for that weed?
Listen.
That's fucked up.
She said, I did what I did.
I got one for free because I got a pre-roll. One of them crazy pre-rolls that have the keef roll around it.
Yeah.
Oh my
You was
God.
We were talking about last week again with
fire.
last
I've
days.
been out the weed game for
3
so
pieces
long.
of-
I don't know
3
what's going on no more.
3
For
pieces
real.
of mediocre does not
I
make
smoked that shit
one
for a
piece of
month.
good.
I'm not even kidding. I couldn't hit the whole thing all at once. I was
Damn.
But yo,
pussy.
George, we love having you on as always. We'll have you next week for sure.
I have to go back to work too.
Yeah, he has to go back to
Go
work.
sell that shit.
He has more fucking dope ass weed to sell and shit, and more ladies to awkwardly
show his
flirt with.
chart too.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, show your fucking chart, bro. It's impressive. Yo, she was talking about charts and shit with the horoscope. You got weak charts, bro. Fuck it.
Wow, charts and
I got
charts.
circles and I got rectangles.
How many shapes and sizes? I see
I
what
got
you did
showers
there.
and growers.
Yeah. Okay, now he's wildin'. All right.
He's still going.
Yo, shout out to
Thank you,
Dr.
Dr. Tom.
Yo, so speaking of
Tell
you know,
your cousin
strong
hurry
flavors
up.
and shit. Not my cousin. Yo, first of all, his ass. First of all,
He shot the
his
shot.
ass got
I appreciate that.
his ass got citizenship. My people didn't. He's Puerto Rican. Shout out to my favorite Boricua. Yo, Caramuda.
Wait, who's Puerto Rican?
My homie Caramuda.
Wait, Doctor? Oh,
Nah,
I thought the doctor was Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. Yo. So this is my bro Caramuda.
You win with the outfit though, for real.
You know, that's how I love my.
Yo, he's
Unmuted, right?
I'm a superhero.
no, he's a little late because he was eating some monfongo and shit like that. So it's all good.
Yeah, I can't go.
Y'all make it different though.
Is
Yeah,
that, is that the polo cologne that you got on?
You do smell good, man.
Versace, mommy.
Versace?
Versace.
Bro, so funny
like
story
polo.
about Caramuda. Yo, funny story about this dude. First time I met him was at Dallas's house. He came by. He had a baby, bro, randomly.
Yo, the party
he brought
with
the
the
baby
baby.
to the party, bro. It was wild. I was like, bro, you brought a baby? You mad Puerto Rican? Because that's what. Yo,
Was
that's
it his baby?
Man,
At least. Okay, at least.
We assume.
It looks just
Yeah,
like him.
important questions.
he's
Like,
my twin. He's
Yo,
my
it
twin.
was just like him. So what we did, it was funny. We was talking about music. We like, boom, yo, we should record something. So then we was like, all the ladies was fucking with the baby. They was like, yo, you're so cute. He's like, all right, let's record something while they got him
Yeah, jump in the
distracted
booth.
because he was into it, getting all the attention. He's like, word. But yeah, the funniest part was I was like, you got a fucking baby to the party? That's wild. And then he was playing me his music, and I couldn't even believe it was him. You know what I'm saying?
I had to because, you know, my girl went on vacation, so I was alone with the baby. So I was like, yeah, let me bring him.
July 4th, trying to come
That's
out.
the baby
Yeah.
his girl don't know about.
That's
but
the
any-
baby his girl don't know about.
Like a little bit more in front of
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
good?
right here, bro, talking to the top.
Oh, shoot. My fault.
she's like, I just
I just told literally.
Yo, so
I'm here to my tape drop.
okay.
So Caramuda was what introduced Dallas to even making anything that was an English based, right? Like,
I was telling you that my first.
yeah, because we had a record that we dropped with shout out to Skip Through Lip. You have to
Skip
say
Through
like
Lip,
Skip Through
yeah.
Lip, like an immigrant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Skip
not
to Dip.
immigrant, not immigrant.
Skip, definitely immigrant. Skip to Dip, like. Shout out to him. He couldn't make it today, but you know they're like a collab.
We like a duet. Sometimes, you know, we come in
Okay.
together and, you know, we got this thing called Scooter. So it's like Skip and Muwda, Scooter.
That's cute.
Yeah, so we.
That's cute.
Yo, bro, but naturally speaking, she said that's cute.
I like
Yo,
that. Scooter.
no, and naturally speaking, yo, like, you know, when you just hear somebody rap, sing, or whatever, you're like, God damn, you better be doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better be doing nothing else. You know, not anything else in your life, but it's like you should be doing this. When I heard him, that's what I thought of. You know what I'm saying? There's very
I'm
few
putting you in
appreciate
every
that.
room I need to network in.
Yeah.
For real, because I'm listening to his music after this.
No,
because
no,
of,
we could, and I'll play you a song that I got with him. We got a few things coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play it for sure. It's fucking amazing. It's
yeah.
like my favorite record. Like his shit, and I said this the last days too. I'll listen to their stuff, and I'll listen to his stuff without like any pressure to be like, I gotta support the local guy.
Yeah.
I listen to it because I enjoy it.
You making me blush, guy.
No, you came here ready with your shit.
right.
Yo, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'll listen to that shit. Yo, he came out with like a faster paced perreo shit, like that talking about, you know how that wild ass Spanish shit,
yeah.
when they literally say pussy in Spanish for like 3 minutes and that's the song. Yo, he does that shit too, including the R&B shit. Yo, that shit I would pick up my
He don't
sister.
speak his Spanish the way I speak Spanish. That's what it is.
Yo, I picked up my sister from school, blasting that. She was embarrassed. I was like, yo, every time I'd be like, she hates when I do this shit, and then I would just blast it when I picked her up. From
Nah,
school,
I try to be implicit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yo, I played your shit for Naughty. She was like, he's the one.
Yeah,
that's the song. That's
Yeah,
me and
yeah,
him.
you fucks with it?
Yeah, of course.
She wanted to do she was like, yo, put me on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
shit, let's did it. I'm down for that.
Muwda was also one of the earliest guests on the show.
Oh, for
right?
real?
Weren't you? Like when you came back for the Halloween episode, right?
Yeah,
you
we
was
did.
with Skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, that was
that's
like
crazy.
He don't even he drinks
episode
too much.
10 or some shit.
Listen, I thought when I seen you guys, I thought y'all were doing this for a while, man.
Nah, that was one of the early joints.
We have
bro.
him.
For real?
Yeah.
Now I feel extra important now.
Yeah, no, and then we had and then
Hall
he
of Fame,
told me he was coming to the city. I was like, all right, we need you on. And Yo, so tell us how it's been with the music, bro. Like, what's going on with Muwda?
So, we've been working on that little EP that we got going on. It's going to be Cupido Malvado.
Diablo.
That means, in English translation, how would you say? Yeah. Evil Cupid, Bad Cupid, I don't know. I was born on Valentine's, you feel me? So most of my music.
One language never translates to English. Okay, Burden, our stuff, whatever you mean, it's never gonna be the same.
It don't sound as dope, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So, but I was born on Valentine's and stuff, so I'm like, you know what? And Skid was the first one who told me, yo, Cupido Malvado. I'm like, you know what? I like that. So I'm gonna keep it as a mixtape. I've just been writing, man, just writing.
Yo, the pen's crazy. Like, he actually writes. Like, he has notebooks and shit.
I write
like, you're like, nigga, is that a marble notebook? Like, when you would write for, like, when you got for writing class?
Yeah, composition.
I'd be like, dog, you got a pen? Like, it's 2022 and shit? You got a pen? Well, when I asked him about it, I was like, it was wild to see because
I think it's better writing in your notebook than on your phone sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Yo, look, he got a fucking pen too. This guy's wild.
Paper, he's doing support thing.
No, but like, it was just crazy to see because I'm like, damn. And then when he met my cousin Hundo. Shout out to Hundo, who also raps.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yo, he was just talking to him. You could just, when he was talking about it, bro, it's like, remember I was talking about when people fall in love with shit. The way he was talking about the lyrics and shit, I was like, bro, relax. Like, there's people around. You know what I mean? like it was crazy to see the passion.
Yeah,
you know
shout out to Hondo. Hondo's a beast too, man.
Yeah, bro, he just dropped
He's
a video.
a crazy rapper out there, man. Like, he got a.
He my cousin. I didn't know he rapped for a long ass time.
I didn't say you didn't know he was your cousin.
Did he know you made beats?
No, I might not know that he's my cousin. Shout out to Dominicans.
They're all your cousins.
But no, like, I didn't know he rapped at all. And then I was like, I found out. I was like, yo, meet these other Spanish guys I know. And now he just works with them all the time. Like, yo, shout out to Skip. He's always like a facilitator with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, yo, together, y'all make some crazy shit. Yo, we got an amazing track that's unreleased. Shout out to DJ El Cid, who I co-produced the beat with.
Yeah.
Dog, y'all ain't ready for that shit. Like, that one, I'll preview it to Chris because he's gonna write me the Crack Parade article, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? He gets the exclusive.
It could be the soundtrack.
Yeah, it could be the soundtrack, bro.
Do you cover much Latin music, Chris?
I mean, I did for years. I'm back in the day, we actually used to like cover live shows, believe it or not. Like, that was a beat, Boston Herald, Dig, you'd have big concerts, small concerts. But yeah, that was my chops. But like I said before, even if I wasn't there to cover it like that night, I was out there, who's opening, who's hot, who's not. But that was, oh yeah, man. I can't tell you how many nights at Great Woods, getting that story in. You got to get the story in sometimes by like 11 o'clock. You're like writing as it happens. Cool. It's crazy, yeah. I mean,
so you're out there with your phone?
What? This is like pre-phones, man. This is flip phone days and marble.
So on the QWERTY keyboard, like
yeah. I mean, you had a laptop back in the press in the press box, and the years before that, before my time, you would just take it in your notebook and you'd call it into what's called like the city desk, and then they would there'd be an intern there, and they write it all up as you said it all.
Yeah, and Chris, just because to me, I'm getting Boston historian vibes from you a little bit. You know what I mean? That it's part of your package that we talking about.
I mean, it comes with the territory.
So has there been early on Latin artists from Boston that you are aware of? Like for me personally, I know Lou Armstrong. We talked about him earlier. Shout out to Lou.
Yeah.
We call him the mayor.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you really have to, not Boston, but you look to the North Shore, and first of all, rest in peace, Scientific's probably the first bigger artist, Latino artist from Massachusetts. And by the way, Alex Ramirez, who I was talking about before, wrote the Al Curry article, also wrote a profile, posthumous profile of Scientific. But everybody who's come from that, you had Wolves, Crumb Snatchers crew, had a lot of Spanish-speaking artists in there, but also, look at ST the Squad. I mean, one thing about Terminology's crew is they can all rap. It's like this miraculous. Yeah. I've never seen a crew besides Wu-Tang. They have 10 guys. They can all rap. It's unbelievable.
The producers that they use is crazy.
Yeah,
too.
and props to Piece of Deadeye, Term, the whole crew, Hectic. But yeah, I mean, it's here just like it is out there. And there are other artists over the years for sure. But also don't forget, there's, while all this stuff we were talking about downtown, there was still a scene. Three C's was still happening. Blue Hill Ave still had clubs, so it wasn't always hip hop necessarily, but reggaeton had a footprint here for sure. People don't even realize. And anybody who had been to a barbershop, Jamaica Plain, saw a million posters. That was the real deal. There's a real scene here.
No, bro, and I asked you that to bring that up too, because you brought up some great points, bro. Like, people forget how entrenched and cultured Boston and the surrounding areas are. When you ask people who ain't from here, yo, ain't there just just a bunch of white people there. Sorry though, but like, yo, there's all sorts of
Bunch of
people, bro.
cops.
Look at the.
No, people say that anytime you go anywhere.
No,
you go
exactly.
Down south, they're like,
Still?
there's black people
Still?
there.
Still?
Yeah.
To
I
this
was in
day,
Dallas,
bro.
like
Yo.
2 weeks ago, and they was like,
Say it right back to him.
I was like, right.
And that's why I tell artists sometimes, and I'll ask them, yo, what's your background? And they'd be like, yo, you ever thought about doing something mixed with the English you're doing? And then, because, yo, when that language recognition people get, when they hear that shit, they like, oh,
I
shit.
know what that is.
You know what I mean? When I hear some Dominican ass shit, I'm an instant fan, bro. Yo, when they had the chamber that you did, and Isha,
Yeah,
she
did
said,
Spanish.
she shout out Dominican, she instantly wanted my heart. That's all I clapped for. Other than you, I was like, word, she won. You know what I mean? Not, yo, just because it like brings something inside of you, like, yo, it's like, yo, it kind of reminds you of family a little bit. It reminds you of home a bit. So when I
Same
meet,
team.
I was gonna.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna ask too, like for everybody here, like especially being music lovers, and my thing has always been that I feel like Mass is a melting pot, right? There's mad different cultures out here, and we always talk about like what's Boston sound, but I feel like the one thing that would be Boston sound if we could incorporate like
Everything.
the culture, like everything in some way. Because one thing about Cape Verde music, like personally, like why people love our music, I think, is because Posada, but like it's even Zouk. It's even like it's Haitian. It could be Haitian.
drums,
It could,
swing.
you know
Everything's
what I'm saying? Like,
familiar.
Everything's familiar. Like, and so it can all be incorporated. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what y'all take on it, but I always want to hear from people how we can make that a sound.
And I've talked to you about it before too a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because like, yo, especially Cape Verdeans, bro, like the music, first of all, musically inclined like a motherfucker if you know Cape Verdeans, you know what I'm saying? Like they got rhythm automatically. You ever been to one of their baby showers? It's lit as fuck. But like, yo, too much food. Like you gotta bring fucking containers and shit just to get out of there. And then you might meet a couple cousins you didn't know about, your baby mama, whatever it is. It's cool though. But like, yo, the music is amazing. The rhythm is all familiar. You be like, it's just something you're used to, you know what I'm saying? So like and you just can tell, and if they look familiar a little bit. Tell me how many times people's like, yo, you Dominican? Yo, you from here?
There's even Drake songs that's like, there's one Drake song, I think it's called Matimba or something like that, and it's very much a what's
You know
the
Drake
pop?
finna snatch.
Yeah, it sounds like the pop sound, but then there's like a dum dum, and it sounds like one of our old Funana songs.
It's good. They got them roots, you know what I'm saying? All them roots are the same, you know, the African roots, all that stuff, man.
Dun-dun-dun.
Reggaeton,
Georgia Smith.
Georgia Smith, to get her shit together so we can get. And it's like dun dun in the background. That sounds like a Cape Verdean song, like from one of our old.
Yeah, and like Muwda was about to say too, like reggaeton music, same shit.
Yeah.
You'll be like the drum sounds, the roots of it. You be like, yo,
you pick up from everything. You feel me? Like reggaeton, like the whole story with that. First of all, it was the Panamanian who started that, and they got that from the dancehall, from the reggae, and all that stuff. They incorporated that. They started doing a lot of Spanish remixes. Then Puerto Rico took it, you know, evolving into what it is now, which it sounds a little bit more pop now. You know what I'm saying? But it still got that little African on it. You know what I'm saying? It still got them drums. It still got that,
so it makes it good.
heritage, you know.
You just put me on too.
Same thing with, you know, Posada and all the, you know, I don't know, you say.
Funana, it's just mad different. You can go to Zouk. Zouk is like Haitian and Cape Verdean, like
exactly.
Cachupa. He's so aggy.
He's so annoying.
Cachupa, yeah. Hey, yo, Cachupa's bomb.
it is bomb.
I like Cachupa, yo.
Whatever.
No,
That needs to be our sound.
To your question, like I feel like the nice thing about Boston is even though we don't have one sound, I think that the fact that we have a range of sounds and talents, like there's a bunch of good shit coming out of the city, and I think out of the state and the region, and I think that that's dope on its own. But like you just made me think, like, because I've always been like, oh, we don't need a sound, but and then not that we do, but I think what's interesting is what you're saying, like bringing all the cultures, because I'm like the one thing that connects the people that we're talking about is drums. Like, what would that look like to like incorporate like a certain set, like a certain style of drums together, like to make it like
our jersey.
you know what? I'm about to go home and just.
I think we do need a sound though.
Yeah, me and Dallas Rose are you.
I disagree that like we need a sound
Call it
or that we don't need
Agreed.
a sound
Call
because,
Oh, okay.
because
They be talking shit about us.
like I think that typically what like puts a city on like on a national level
It's
is
true.
that they have a sound
It's
that
true.
you can really point to and it's well defined. So like I think we need that here, and I feel like there's like different like candidates that are going on. You know what I mean? You have like kind of the older school rap stuff, like with like Feed the Family.
And there's poetry a lot.
Feed the Family.
I think one thing that connects a lot of that though, let's pay when you think of like Ed O.G., kind of like the first rapper to really do big things out of Boston and who's still very active, still puts out great albums. He was known as what we call conscious rap back then. Be a father to your child, music that still means so much to me, to a lot of people in Boston. But then you take the artist, your acrobatics over the years to Oompa and to a lot of the artists, even the trap music coming out of Boston is lyrical. Mm-hmm. And to me, I know that's how a lot of people, it's this white place. Sure, it's also a place people look to for colleges, intelligence, the brain, right? Yeah. So for me, one thing that's really carried through, not all artists, but lyrics, intelligent lyrics, not always like punch, not always like do the right thing, but smart lyrics. Yeah. I love it, and it's always been there. Stiz, it doesn't matter.
It's simple, but
it doesn't have to be in every line, but it's there. Yeah. And I think that's for me, and that's a through line. That's not really a sound, right? Yeah. And that's for me, and that's certainly something that I know a lot of, rap, hip hop heads my age, I'm 43, but even a little younger, who saw the earlier, who saw Edo, who saw Gangstar Foundation build out here, then who saw Special Teams, and then who's now seeing what's happening now. That's definitely a through line. That's a connective tissue.
That's actually a fact.
What do you guys think the sound might be here though? Like if you had to say what it is right now or what it's gonna be.
It's like pockets, like Brockton rap got a sound now. You know what I'm saying? Like
the singing.
No. There's the singing, but then there's like the Latrell and the Van Burens and
shout out Latrell James.
Yeah, like there's the you know what I'm saying? Like Clark D's not really from, you know what I'm saying? But then there's there's that, and then we got the like a lot of the super emotional hard the grimy Gertz, the you know what I'm saying, the Millies, the King Bricks, the super at your heart shit,
King
but
Bricks
like
on too.
you know what I'm saying, hood shit, but
like the modern type stuff.
You said what?
Like the modern type stuff.
Yeah, the modern type shit. I don't know. I know my sound is not a sound in the city,
there's
but
pockets too. And the thing is, what I tell people, bro, it's like, first of all, and I know I'm unapologetically Dominican and shit, but I will reiterate it again, bro. If you're from here, you should know how important that culture is to the city and, the Puerto Rican culture, whatever. It's a huge population. And I'm like, have y'all been to Lawrence? Have you been to Jamaica Plain? Have you been to Roxbury, Dorchester, whatever? We everywhere. So, like, why aren't y'all using that to your advantage to some degree? You know what I mean? We got a Dominican Festival. The artists who are either related to them or they know them. Like, Oompa, you can get on a track with a Dominican artist or whoever.
See, this I know you don't listen to my music.
I do.
I just did a remix, so thanks too much.
Oh, I don't listen to all of it.
See?
Listen, I was straight up with you though.
I told you. It's like a little Afrobeat, John too.
It's Afrobeats, but then I got my boy on it. Yeah.
No, I like Afrobeats.
He got some Afrobeat too.
See, we made something.
I see what he's doing. You should manage.
I like it like a mix of things because I like when things are like complement each other that are a bit different too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it brings out the best of people. Like I've got a track I worked on with artists from Venezuela with Law JQ, who's an artist here. You know what I'm saying? Who we worked with often. And I'm like, I have to think of video ideas for him. Like, we gotta shoot this. This dude lives in the hood in Venezuela, and they fucking suffering like a motherfucker. While this dude's from New York and Boston and shit like that. I'm like, how can we make that work? But we made it work because of, first of all, modern technology and finding a common ground where we're like, we can make something special
out of it
by coming together. Exactly. So and if you hear. If there's a whole group of swath of people in Boston, they don't even speak fucking English, bro. I know a lot of them. You be like, anything, nothing, not even hello? No, dude. He's like, hola, ¿cómo está? That's all they got. So if you incorporate some Spanish flavor into that, or even shout out to my Cape Verdeans, if you do that to them and them dudes who can't fucking speak English for shit, you'd be like,
say that one line, they're gonna love the song.
Shit, Cesaria. Yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just that
Luanda, Cachupa.
I think I would say that. I just want to say, like, I think for Boston or any city though, like the democratization of being able to make music has made it. Well, there'll never be a sound. I mean, the reason we affiliate certain cities with sounds, New Orleans, Manny Fresh. It's not like a million people. It's like Master P and Manny Fresh made everything we affiliate. Yeah. There's a million other things happening there, from Big Frida to a million artists I can name. But my point is, when we talk about that sound that comes out, my argument, and I'm hoping to the opposition, has always been that wouldn't have been great for Boston if someone had blown up huge. Because honestly, anybody who was here when Mark Wahlberg blew up, and that's obviously an interesting example because it's not like he wasn't doing shows with everybody for the most part. I'm no fan of the guy, but. although I was a fan of them, you know, come on, we all danced to Good Vibrations. But my point was that screwed up things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It did. It really did.
That, though.
And
that was fucked up what he did to that Asian dude, though. Sorry.
And that all came out much later. And listen, I gotta say, I'm one of the only reporters who wrote about that kind of stuff. And fuck the Wahlbergs, all of them. Cop booth badge licking motherfuckers, every one of them. But they are. But honestly, I don't think there'll ever be something like that. And even back in the day, a lot of the music that came out, like, you know, I'd say like half the music was at least mastered in LA Pro Tools studio, you know, from Dre Robinson, that whole era. So if there was a sound at that time, it was because a lot of it was being produced, and much love to LA Pro Tools song the other day, but a lot of it was coming out of the same lab. Even if it wasn't the producer, it was being engineered that way. People would come on, so that this one would be on that track. Right before that, you had the underground, you know, a lot of the stuff happening right around the corner from here. You know, Wonka sound, different. The Wonka sound was here, but
sorry, I do agree with you too. Like that was my original stance, is like the not having the sound, because I think that what ends up, like, I'm already stressed out with like not like I'm already stressed with like what the sound is of like contemporary like rap music. I'm already stressed like
with the big
doom 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 doom. And I'm here for it.
That's a lot. Hey, that's dope though. That's that Jersey club.
Me and Dallas Rose finna make some shit, I promise. But I say all that to say is like I'm already stressed like with like just wanting to make what makes me feel good, but also being mindful of the fact that I'm in a landscape. So if we had a sound and like God forbid that sound wasn't mine,
third thing to think about.
It's like a 16th thing to think about. Like I'm already black, a woman, rapper, thick.
What do you guys think it's gonna take for Boston to be mentioned alongside other cities?
I think it's already.
It's already doing that.
I got cousins in New York who, I'm telling you, years ago, never. They're the ones telling me about artists out of Boston first, and you know, I think really. Stiz putting on, you know, everyone from Michael Christmas, a lot of people really helped out, you know. But I just think it's. I don't know what city you want to compare it to, but you know.
Sorry to cut you up, but that's just rap. You know what I'm saying? Me as an artist, right? I think about doing everything, you know. That's why I like to rap more than anything else. You know, I try to do dancehall, R&B, hip hop, trap, reggaeton, everything, right? Not everybody thinks like that. Everybody gets on their own lane type of thing, but. So
but
he's
saying as a mainstream coming out.
Yeah, but in Boston it's hard, right? Because now everybody's all over the place. We got some good rappers, we got some good reggaeton artists, we got some good dembow people, you know. So it's all over the place. Now, what I think is we just need to get organized. That's what I think. That's just me.
Hey, I'm always an outside guy looking in. I'm a reporter. If people organize, they organize.
Well,
you know
I call
what I mean?
bullshit.
No, it's true.
I don't bullshit.
No, I don't see. No, I'm the you know, third generation of rap reporter. You know, I would love to be.
Wait, so you're not ready for the freestyle we had ready for you?
No.
A rapper reporter would be crazy.
That would be wild.
I'm sure a lot of
story every time.
Yo, Acrobatic used to do
your social media content.
Acrobatic used to do the sports news on Jammin' every morning. Nobody remember that?
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, like every night he would write the actual like
that's
the
actually
traffic.
insane.
Yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
that was the real deal.
Yeah, that's
every morning.
And I kind of get what he was saying too, though, because like, yo, like I remember. Why aren't we playing more festivals and shit? You know what I'm saying? When we have like the Dominican Festival, Puerto Rican Festival, West Indian Festival, shit like that. And because when we were talking about all the drums and shit and that sound that's familiar, it kind of hit my head. I'm like, yo, why were they just walking down the parade? Why can't one of y'all perform that?
Hey, we Latinos, we love hip hop. So like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just all being Spanish people singing at a Puerto Rican festival, Dominican festival, why don't you know what I'm saying? Things like that.
We need Oompa.
Well, there are more festivals. I'd say, you know,
At the Puerto Rican festival, I'd be crazy. I'd be like, yo, what's good?
Oompa. You just gotta say.
Nah, but sometimes you gotta celebrate the cultures that exist without trying to insert yourself. Like I grew up going to Puerto Rican festival, Dominican festival. Like I grew up.
You didn't go to Cape Verde Festival?
I didn't even know y'all had a festival.
In New Bedford.
Me either.
Well,
They
I
have
New
one in
Bedford.
freaking Brockton and Providence.
See,
Y'all got one every day in Brockton.
Nah, when I was in the street, I didn't go outside of Roxbury. I could walk anywhere in Roxbury. Maybe towards 02121.
Faraone High Five right there.
But that's it. I ain't
That's
going
some
to
Roxbury shit.
Yo,
now.
Yo,
when
if
I
you're
was a
from
kid, no.
Roxbury, we don't be leaving, bro.
I don't leave Roxbury.
Yo.
I might slide on Dorchester, 02121 side.
Right, a little bit.
Maybe on a Grove Hall side.
Dorchester.
But I'm
By
in
accident.
Roxbury. I was in
But you
Roxbury.
was in Dorchester.
No,
Those
we
were
yo.
Cape Verdeans.
Roxbury.
I was in Roxbury.
Yeah, we
Not that, no, Cape Verdeans, don't get me wrong. Cape Verdeans is deep no matter where you go. But it's like, We talking like Roxbury, Dorchester line, Dorchester, Brockton, like
different.
Bowdoin,
Bowdoin Street's
Blue
back in
Hill, Dudley.
It's close.
I lived off Church Street.
Yeah,
Y'all
see,
close.
we know what time
Y'all
it is.
close, but it's not Bowdoin Street. Yo,
You know where Church Street is?
just
next to Madison.
side note, the most Roxbury thing to do is not leave Roxbury.
Oh, the school.
Because I've had people from
I didn't even
outside
imagine Church Street.
of Boston be like, yo, so you know downtown, etc. And I'm like, no. He's like, dude, I know
side.
Elliston Square. Okay, you know that pizza is trash, but it's alright. Just fucking.
You
eat
said
it.
the pizza's trash on Eggleston Square.
Eggleston House
Bro,
Pizza,
don't let me
not a
hear no.
fan.
Don't let me hear
Not a
you.
fan,
Don't
bro.
let. Don't
Yo,
let. Nah.
No, first of all, no. I'll give you a few reasons.
I like the spot next to the police precinct over there. What is that?
Oh, Ruggerio's.
Ruggerio's.
If you gotta get a slice, go to Ruggerio's.
Nah,
that's a New York slice right there.
Starfish
Starfish
is
all
fucking
day.
goated.
Starfish
Go to
good.
Starfish. You might
The
have to
same-
deal with a crackhead or two, but it's cool.
Nah, yo, listen, the crackheads is my peoples. Like, but the dude that runs Starfish was there when we were kids.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was the same
Facts.
dude. He don't get no older.
Yo, they be like, yo, what you want? I got wheat bread and fish, bro. That's what I got.
And I'd be like, can I get white? I said wheat. Word,
Bro,
let me get
You're
that.
gonna watch this guy scale it right in your fucking face, and you're gonna eat that shit.
No, I love
And we're
it.
closing at 6, motherfucker.
I love it.
Because they don't stay open for
Not
nobody.
you saying that the pizza in Eggleston, I don't know
No,
about you.
because
You're
when
not
you
from
have
Roxbury.
Ruggerio's,
You're not from
you're
Roxbury.
like, we don't want that. I'm from Roxbury my entire life. Yo, I just.
You
first
lived
of
in
all-
Roxbury, you from Roxbury? No, sir,
All
don't
of
get
it.
me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
All of it.
Don't get me started.
All
Don't get
of
me
the
started.
I miss
I like
Skippy.
to
I
talk
miss
trash.
going over there.
Bro.
Some
First of
fish,
all-
Skippy Whites.
Oh, Skippy Whites.
Yo, we
you
miss
know.
Skippy
Yeah,
Whites and,
that used to be in JP, like right in Eggleston.
Yeah, they had it. They had it one
Yeah.
on. Did they have one on Center Street too? Like by
I mean,
the.
for the past time, I mean, for 100 years, he had different record stores. I think he moved around a little here.
Yeah.
and it was one in Dudley as
I know
well,
they
I
was in
think,
the
yeah.
plaza next to that Stop and Shop.
Yes.
Yeah, they were there. They had a little location there. You know what I'm saying? But they was right across from that McDonald's where.
Yeah, right on
definitely
Eggleston.
crackers by that
Yeah.
McDonald's. Yo, like right across the street from there.
From the Circle
Yo, never
building.
go to that McDonald's, by the way. Yo, they got a Santander ATM there. Do not use that ATM, guys. I'm just saying. Yo, because.
I used to Santander ATM inside of Prudential. And
Nah,
that shit took
don't
my
use
money.
the one that I'm talking about. I'm warning you about
Don't
it.
use the one in Dudley Street. The
No.
what's it called? The Bank of
Bro,
America.
This one's a setup, bro. You're like right there in the corner. It's kind of dark. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
yo, you know what?
What? What? I live right next to that.
You ain't outside though.
I don't want to be sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yo, no, because I've used that because I was forced to, and when I used to be walking around there a lot more, I used to be like,
Remember when it was
I
a
gotta-
Bank of America?
yeah. Shout out to them. It was a
Yeah.
sovereign bank before.
It was a sovereign. They
And there
wrote
was a
off
Fleet
all my
Bank.
debt.
Remember Fleet Bank? That's showing my age and shit.
Fleet.
It used to be Fleet Bank.
My mother
They
used to tell me about Fleet.
Yeah, you see that show.
TD Garden.
TD Garden, Fleet Center. Yeah, I remember she telling me about that.
I don't know nothing about what y'all talking about.
So
Yeah,
like,
me either. I'm too
but
young.
Like I was saying, Roxbury people never leave Roxbury, bro. It's fucking wild. You be talking about downtown. He's like, yo, that's a foreign country, dog.
Yeah, no, if it was the corner mall, different like that area. But
Yeah, shout out to
outside.
Washington
Yeah,
Park
because
Mall.
that was just a train from Jackson. You could go straight there. and come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jackson Square. You might get stabbed a little bit, but it's cool.
Oh my God.
In
It's
the
not a big
house.
deal. It's not a big deal.
In the house.
It's not a big deal. You
On
might just-
Xbox One. In the house.
First of all,
Reporters are immune.
Series X.
I don't even see.
No,
I don't even know
PC.
what it is because I was outside.
So I was a hybrid model, right? Because I was either forced inside because it was like my mom's was the moms that would go outside and make people's kids she didn't even know get back in the house type shit, and she'd whoop their ass type stuff, or like verbally, you know what I'm saying? And I was also
Verbally.
outside because I was forced because I was like my brothers was always outside, so I had to be like, oh,
Yeah.
you gotta make sure you stay alive type
Yeah.
shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a mix. And I was like,
No, when I say outside, I mean like physically outside.
no, I
playing.
know what you mean.
Okay.
I know what you mean.
Like in the hood,
I
bro.
mean like chilling on the stoop and shit like that, and being out with the peoples and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that too.
Oh,
But like,
okay.
I've also seen everybody that did that. You know, not around so much where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like to
I'm around.
to keep it serious. Yo, shout out to you. You made
Yeah,
it, girl.
but you
Yeah.
around, you out in the hood, like how? Like you feel me?
I was
It's like
outside.
you can know.
You can do
That's
your research.
Oompa.
You can do your research.
You can do your research. You can walk anywhere around.
Oh,
You can do your research.
Enter her name now. Oompa.
Oompa.
No, but
Hey,
like,
I've been around too, and I'm still alive. Thank
No,
God.
and-
Amen.
But
Amen.
I've been around in like type of where like I know everybody type of thing. In my hood, you know, everybody knows me. They're like, yeah, here you go.
yo, so
Here you
in
go.
San Juan or some shit like that? What you
Nah,
talking
not San Juan, bro. I'm from Roxbury
What you say?
too. And listen, I live.
So this-
about? San Juan's the capital of Puerto Rico.
My mama lives in OP. All right, so that's already know right there. OP
Okay.
right there. So we been
guys
there.
know
and Dudley Street all my life, type of thing.
But shout out to Dudley. I went to school by Dudley. That shit was always interesting when you skip class and the people you would run into.
Yeah.
Yo, Dudley Station's classic, bro.
Yeah, I went to the Timothy, so I definitely was there.
Hey, I went to Timothy too.
I went to OB.
Wait. I went to Timothy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Say that.
For real, what year?
I ain't saying that.
I think you were my promising.
Were
you my promising pal?
Caught up.
Were you my promising pal?
Maybe.
Timothy, man?
Yeah, you never know, dude.
8 years, 10 years, something.
Wait,
like
what?
that. 10 years I was a I was a pen pal at the Timothy.
Yeah, the pen pal. That's crazy.
Yeah, you probably was one of them.
Yeah, rest in peace to Timothy,
Yeah,
man.
straight
you
up.
know.
Rest
Yo,
in
they closed that
peace.
Timothy down?
Yeah, they're selling all the
fucked up.
everything,
All
all
the burgundy-ass
consolidation.
uniforms and
Yo,
shit?
props
Wait,
to
they
Dorchester
did, for real?
Reporter. We've been working with Dorchester Reporter to write about all the school consolidations and
Wow.
all the how they didn't care about what any parents basically had to say.
Y'all
They did
y'all in your
close
fucking-
history,
Timothy was a great school.
a lot of
Wait,
history
wait,
there. They look at they pulled out a couple things that
That
nonsense.
sucks. Yeah.
You listen, I've been in Florida for like 2 years and a half now, so I ain't even know about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to the
That's
Timothy.
Shit, guys, this was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the United Nations.
Everybody say their song that's been on their mind all day long.
Song.
A song?
Yes, to close up. A song that's been on your mind.
Literally Agua that I made with him and LeBron because I put George onto LeBron for Oompa. I'm not just saying that. I
Yeah.
literally was just listening to it because I was like, he was like, well, what song should I listen to from her? I was like, just listen to this, bro. Like, and then he was like, yeah, got obsessed. Clearly.
Okay.
I
Seen
love
it.
that.
George made a fucking move on it.
That's
low-key.
real.
But like,
and he was like, I was like, hey, bro, what's up? Okay.
but like, yo, no, but just literally those two songs, just because.
Thank you.
Literally because it's relevant.
What's your song that's stuck in your head?
And don't say no bachata shit. We didn't got time for that. We're in America, bro.
Hey, I'm not, man, I don't know.
You don't have one?
It was one. It has to be one of your shits, bro. What else do you listen
You
to?
can say if it's yours. That's
I don't
fine.
even know, to be honest. I wasn't even thinking about a song right now in my head. I was just thinking about.
But something that you played all day long.
He was thinking about pussy.
What about you?
Yeah, no bullshit.
Me, Last Days, Tina Marie.
I'm always thinking about
Tina
that
Marie.
shit.
Song dropped last week. Yeah.
Mine's On My Mama by Victoria Monet. I was singing it earlier. You got
My
one?
whole gang don't give a fuck about who your crew is. Why would you? You ain't never move. Shit, that's Cake Swag, Capo. Yeah, that's my shit.
I'm on some Mickey Diamond's Death by Designer, Coke rap,
Oh.
big raspy voice. Shit.
You gonna give us a verse from
Voice
it?
raps, kid.
No.
I
Dude,
tried
we need a
it.
Boston rapper that raps like this, kid. That's the sound that we need, dude. I swear, kid. That's what we put us on
Yo,
the fucking
Maroney.
map, dude.
Props to Maroney.
Get it right, kid.
Great Quincy Hope with that voice.
Are they waving?
Yeah. Psh, Maroney, man, check him out.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hello.
I'm like, hey.
You heard it? Do you have one yet or no?
Baby, yo te busco.
Oh, that's one of his. That's the song that we made with Dallas. Yeah.
Chris, give your social media.
At TJM Live is Talking Joints Memo, and I'm at Faraone, F-A-R-A, and just the number 1, just the 4.
Okay.
Period.
Oompa Out Loud, right?
Out Loud and outlaw.world. OUTLAUD.world.
Her Latin channels. Oompa.
Umpapa.
Muwda.
It's Kara Muwda with K-A-R-A, Muwda, M-U-W-D-A.
Look out for the music soon.
IG.
Yes, sir.
You know where to
Anyway.
find us. Thank you for
Thank you,
watching.
guys.
Thank you,
See you
guys.
next week.
New Year.
Thank you for having me, guys.
It's you. You're the
Tu cupido malvado, baby. Tu cupido malvado, baby. Baby. Ella me llama every night, 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 yeah. Di que happy on her mind, 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 yeah. Se lo hundo every night, 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 yeah. But she wanna baby mine, 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 yeah. Independiente, no necesita nada de nadie, no, 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 no. Pero depende, si ella tiene ganas rápido me llama. Le saco la baba, le saco la lengüita y le hago la la la. Siempre la dejo agua, la cama moja siempre se la dejo agua. A ella yo le llamo yo-yo, porque ella se sube, se baja, baja y sube mientras me la apoyo. Qué rico comerte el pollo, yo. Ese plato me lo como un plato criollo. Por eso siempre baja después del trabajo, que tiene agua pero es algo complicado. Ella me dice que un clavo saca otro clavo, por eso se olvida del cada vez que se lo clavo. Ella me llama every night, 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 yeah. Di que happy on her mind, 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 yeah. sé que quieres que te rompa. Tú vas pa' mi casa casi sin ropa. Interior quiere sentirme en tu interior. Soy mejor que el anterior, yo nunca voy a pasar de moda. Ella me llama every night.